Are you going to stay here for the entire duration of this stream? I could do with that not being the case. Anyways, welcome everyone to Saturday Night Footy here live on the Cardman channel. We've got West Coast taking on Sydney at Optus Stadium. The Eagles are off the back of 2 wins in a row for the first time since 2024. And if we have a look at the poll for the margin, go and put a margin poll in the chat. Sydney are predicted to win by 20 plus points by 57% of the people, followed by, well, let's say 72% going the Swans, which is probably not what it should be if we extrapolated it. I still do think the Swans are just going to have too much quality, but our West Coast a chance here. This would be a huge upset. And for how shit the game was, the previous game was Richmond Port Adelaide. If anyone watched that, drop your opinions on what you thought of that game. Were there any big moments? Did anything really significant happen? Because it seemed like that was one that you could have easily just skipped on. So go and vote in the poll and drop some chats in. I've had a pretty solid day. Been working on a few things behind the scenes. Going to a couple of games of footy tomorrow. How good was the footy game last night as well between Adelaide and Freo? Didn't get to watch heaps of it because I was actually travelled to my mate's house for a party, but I did end up watching the last couple of minutes on KO on my phone, and Alex Pearce probably was the hero in the end of the day. He probably saved the game with that smother in the last 20 seconds, which isn't the first time Alex Pearce has saved the game for Freo in Adelaide. 58% of the votes going to the Swans by 20 plus. Yeah, how's the audio? All good? Cool. It's also, I think this is the 2006 Grand Final reunion as well between these two sides. Obviously, they faced off in 06. Who is not playing for the Swans? Well, obviously, Errol Goulden isn't going to be playing for the Swans for the next 3 to 4 months, but lineups, the players in for the Eagles, Sandy Brock, Champion, and good old Matt Owies. I'm sure the Eagles fans will be stoked about that inclusion. And Devin Robertson obviously out of the suspension. Isaac Heaney's obviously a huge in. He didn't play against Hawthorn, and because he's playing, well, not even if he wasn't playing, obviously I'd still probably be favouring the Swans. I still think, obviously the inclusion of Heaney probably could make them a 2 or 3 goal better side. So my prediction, I think I'm going to go Sydney by 40. But if the Eagles can maybe win the first quarter or stay within a goal, I think they could be in this game until 3/4 time. Hopefully they are, because we want to see a solid game. Obviously, only the 2 games this week because of Easter. Let me know down below what you guys are doing for Easter this weekend. I'm not really doing a whole heap with family, unfortunately, because they're away. But I am going to be going to some games tomorrow. So yeah, last night was great for footy. Hopefully today we can get something salvageable. Nearly had a heart attack. Oh, I thought that was because of a health issue. Because I'm a Freo supporter, it is the HMS Sydney Cup. The HMS Sydney 2 Cup. What does that mean? Yeah, you would have nearly had a heart attack, given you probably should have just sewn the game up at one stage. You got by 34 points, I believe, and then Adelaide did what Adelaide do and had a good quarter of footy for 20 minutes, and then couldn't get it done. That's just been Adelaide all year. So that's I don't think Adelaide are a top 4 chance anymore. Well, they're still a chance, but they're not really in my top 4 calculations. Why is my live chat on the other side of my screen? I'm not sure why it's doing that. The chat's frozen. No, it's not frozen. Well, maybe it was frozen. It's not frozen anymore. It's just the last game that I did. Razor reckons that if we had Elliot Yeo Robinson, I mean, I'd still give. You can still give West Coast a chance even in this game, and that's not even being biased because I would agree with that. But yeah, no, those players hurt. Yo's probably the biggest loss, and I'm not really sure what it's looking like for him, because they said they were maybe going to test to see if he plays, but hopefully he can at least get his body right for half 15 games. You want some sort of an output from Yo, because he's been part of the reason why West Coast have turned it around. But if we get the likes of Harley Reid to play like he did last week. Dursma, Shanahan, those youngsters for West Coast are really looking exciting. So that's why I'm excited for this game in a sense, even if they do get beaten by quite a bit, which they might be. Should we return? By the way, I have a footy that I could take to some games. I could bring back the idea that I had back in 2024 where I got the fans to sign my footy. I know it's just sort of spontaneously coming up with it now, but I like that idea, and I've never really ended up, retrieving the footy that ended up getting stolen at Gather Round, which pissed me off, and I never started again. So I could have it ready for Gather Round. It's just an idea that I'm thinking of doing, even if it's not for this week. I could get it for next week, and that could be even a chance for some giveaways, get some footy signed. Obviously, Carlton have been shocking, but out of their team, who's been a standout or a new player? Out of Carlton's team, who's been a standout? Well, let's apart from like the obvious of obviously Jagger Smith has been really impressive as a first year player, but probably Elijah Hollins. I'd say Elijah Hollins of all Carlton players. Where's the Saints v Brisbane vlog? Well, I lost the footage to that, but I wasn't going to post it on the main channel. I was going to post it on the second channel. But my SD, I'll show you what happened to my SD card. Look at it. Look at that. Fuck the footage up. But I could get the footage back because I'm trying a last-ditch effort tonight, but it'll be a week later if I posted it, and it wasn't even a very relevant game. I wasn't really getting a lot in that last quarter. If the game ended up being close, it would have annoyed me a little bit more, but it ended up being a 33-point margin in the end. So it wasn't the biggest deal that ended up happening. So we'll be without a few St Kilda vlogs till the Port Adelaide game. Unless I choose to film, which I probably should. I probably should film tomorrow. Please don't lose or get things stolen this year. Well, I haven't gotten anything lost in this footy season so far. But yeah, no, obviously can't afford to continue doing that. I've got to learn at some stage from my mistakes. And obviously last gather, or not the last gather, it was the gather round before where the worst of it occurred. I wish I can swap Gold Coast Sun scarf with you. I got the new logo and I want the other one. I would actually, well, I would like an updated version of all the team scarves actually. Not that it matters massively, but some of them are just retail. Like it'd be cool to have a few like more variation with the scarves, like some member scarves from some school years, maybe some retro ones, because a lot of them are just retail scarves I got, but a lot of the scarves I ended up getting, half of them probably were gifted to me when I initiated the idea. Should I chuck a quick bet up, or is it a bit late for that? No, it isn't too late. I'm just thinking, because these Saturday night games, especially involving like the top side and the bottom side, if there's no contest after half time, I might still have something to work towards. But you know what? I don't have any time to think of one, so I'm just going to find a common one that could get me a little bit. I'll put only the $5 on because I'm not wasting any more money on it. Well, 15 legs. Don't want to do that. 3 legs. Warner, Heaney, and McInerney for 2 goals. All 3 of them. I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, I got changed. Oh, fuck that then. I'm not going to do that. No, because I don't think some of these things are going to happen. Okay, this could happen. That could happen. I reckon that could happen. Quick. Quick. I've lost it. Where the hell is it? Well, where the hell is it gone? Shit. Oh no, where is it? Yeah. There we go. Quick. $5. And it's a real mystery because I only saw like a couple of the legs. It's locked in. All right. My dog will be sitting on my bed because I've got half a burger that I got from the fish and chip shop that we'll talk about. Well, not really. It's not really a topic of discussion, but I did get that before the stream, and I'll finish it off in the first quarter. Kerner needs a big one. Probably needs 4 goals out of him. But after his comments he made on the weekend, wanting to be a role player for this side, maybe he's just going to give himself an excuse to have a quiet one. and set up the goals. He needs a big game. How loud's the commentary? I'm going to turn it down a little bit more than what it was in the last game. Where are you sitting? I will be sitting MCC for the Melbourne Gold Coast game. And then far out. Amadi kicks the first goal in the first 35 seconds. That is exactly what the Eagles didn't want to happen. And I'll tell you that because they're slow starters, and if they're going to try to make a comeback against Sydney, I don't think it's going to happen. Sydney aren't surely going to let that happen. Sorry, West Coast. Sorry, West Coast. Sorry, West Coast.
They had the easy target, it was missed, and they still managed to find a way to goal. But you can see the plan, you can see the methodology almost instantly.
Tyler Young just slipping there. Joel Amadi gets one early, but is the most valuable space in modern footy. The 10 metres behind the contest.
It's the West Coast of old. Could you imagine West Coast lose this by 100 points again and just undo all their hard work? Oh, man. This could be a little ugly. And it could end up being the case. It really could, because West Coast, you have a couple of good games in a row. Confidence is up and about. But you're not going to get it consistent with a young team like West Coast. So I think it could be a worry if it's like a 3 or 4 goal start to Sydney, which could happen. Looks likely now. West Coast Carlton combined would be a good team. Yeah, but you know they'll merge if that ever happens, and then they'll have other worries. It won't be halves. It'll be halves within quarters or something like that, and they'll still lose by 60. Although I'm like if West Coast played Carlton right now, I think I'd be more confident in tipping them, even if it was at Marvel or the MCG. MCC, Luca. I think I'll be sitting MCC unless I end up going with another person, but I'm probably going to go with a few of my mates that I was with last night. And I don't sit MCC often, but they've got memberships. And there's a nice spot up, level 3, near a bar. It'd be quite nice to just sit down and hopefully watch a pretty solid game. Melbourne are pretty fun to watch at the G as well. Yep, 100% Geelong Cats. Mark thinks Sydney will win by 40 against West Coast. Well, that's probably going to happen from the start that we've seen in this game so far. Looks like Amadi's going to have a second chance for his second goal. It's probably going to happen. And you know me, it'll get to a stage where I hope that the Swans just keep pounding and pounding it, because games where teams just stop after a half and they look like they're going to win by 100, but it ends up being like 50 points, are really disappointing and take all the interest out of the game overall. So hopefully the bet I put on and some fantasy stuff could make things a little interesting if this game becomes that. But so far, it's still a contest, I guess. It's only 8 points. Me and my mate really love your videos. And yeah, no worries. I'll be down. Just not guaranteeing anything yet. Been a stinker. You reckon it's been a stinker of a round? I almost feel like it's been better than last week. A couple of 4 inside 50s for 4 scores is going to be for Sydney. Kerno needed to get off to a good start. Mel, what are you doing? I don't think it's been that bad of a round. But we've had some really mediocre games in the... It's sort of like the difference between the best and the gap's quite large this round, to be fair. It's either been a really shit game or a really enjoyable game. 2 Friday games are no exception. I think Kerno's got it. There you go. There you go. What could Kerno be capable of? It's at Optus. It's a hunting ground for him. I think West Coast... I honestly think this is like it's just going to drain out the crowd of the Eagles supporters in a bit if they continue to start the way they have. But it's only the first 3 minutes. but 4 scoring shots to 0. Joseph has gifted a membership to Alana. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, we're only 5 minutes in on the clock. There's no way they're going to win or be close to winning if it's 4+ goals at quarter time. Damn. Another clearance one from the Swans. Grundy there. Okay, this is better. This is all right. Nice score, nice stuff from the Eagles. Some good ball movement. Waterman on the end of it. Kicked one from 60 last week, so we could kick this. It's doable. What do you think of the Freo game last night? Yeah, it'd be probably a top 5 game so far from the games we've seen this year. Absolute desperation from the Dockers in the end there because Adelaide was surging. But unfortunately, I didn't get to sit down and watch all of the game. I wanted to. That was the game I was looking forward to watching arguably most. But I knew I wasn't really going to watch a lot of it because I was going to go out that night, which I left at halftime. And I feel like the game opened up halfway through the third quarter. That's when it started getting a lot more exciting. Eagles were down by 29 points and they won to Port. Yes, I know that. But that is Port Adelaide we're talking about. Port Adelaide and Sydney are quite different in terms of quality. So I'm not expecting something like that to happen again. If West Coast were any chance of winning, they'd probably want to start the game up by 3 or 4 goals. Who are you rooting for? I was actually rooting for Fremantle despite me tipping Adelaide. Because I know how bad it would have been for them if they lost that. Had they lost 2 games after leading by 30 plus points within the games away. So it was a massive game for the Dockers. But I thought it was a bigger game for Adelaide heading into it. But they couldn't succeed in the end. If Melbourne, West Coast and Essendon win this week, spend $1,000 on a shit. Does anything even sell on Teemo for that much? I think the most amount of money I've seen sold for a product is maybe $150. Like everything's like 99 cents. But the whole website just tries to suck you in and lure you in at every opportunity with these deals, but you don't actually get the deals unless you spend a certain amount of money. Which is how I ended up with a tripod that I didn't really want or need. But I saw some ad pop up for a phone case, which was pretty cool, that I was like, yeah, I probably do need a new phone case. Look at my phone case at the moment. Look at it. It's almost unusable because the buttons for the volume and the power button have come off, so you can't even really click. Can't believe how ridiculous the footy card prices are these days. A Porter Baz trope. Mate, it'd be a lot more annoying, and that would definitely deter me from doing one of these group breaks in a bit. If the prices of the footy cards, I haven't checked, how much do they sell on eBay and all that? Are they more than what the average was last year or the year before, or the same? Because it's got to justify that increase in price. Select is the same. And I don't think they're going to be... They probably actually will end up being sold for more because that's the thing, right? If they cost more, people up the prices. But they're not worth the material of the product. Like they're not more expensive to make. They're the exact same cards. Here we go. After a slow start, the Eagles are getting back on track, but they'd probably want a goal pretty quickly. And it's Jobe Shanahan, who is one of the competition's most exciting youngsters right now. Took that mark last week against the Power to win the game, which was voted, I think, mark of the round. I don't... probably, yeah. I would have probably said Taru, not being unbiased, but I thought it was more of a spectacular leap. And it's a point, I think, to the Eagles. I've got to stay in this game, the Eagles, in this first quarter, because I'm just fearing for this fact that if they don't kick an early goal, could be a pretty dark day for them. All right, that's better. Not a good kick from the for the Swans there, but they get it back, the Eagles, through McCarthy. I think you're on punishment duty this week. Yeah, probably. Haven't seen Harley Reid, and not much of Dersma either today. They've got to start picking up the pace if I want to avoid one this week. Malachi Champion's a good name. Wonder how many times he got champed as a kid, though. Wonder what his favourite sportswear brand is as well. No, I agree, though. It's a pretty cool name. Malachi's a cool name, just in general. Don't know many of the people named Malachi. What happened to the bleach buzz cut? That was gone ages ago. I got that done almost a full year ago, like 9 months ago. Of course it's going to grow out. I did say that was going to count, even though it was a failed attempt, and I didn't technically bleach it the way I wanted to. Might still end up happening at some stage this week, but probably not. Promised it a while back. You're going to gather around next week? Yeah, I'm going to go. If I'm undecisive about it now, it'd be a pretty bad thing with 5 days to go till it starts. But I'm probably the least excited I've been for a gather round all throughout its inception because of a number of reasons. I'm not as excited to go, but I think when I'm there, it'll feel like gather round has for the last few years. Just a lot of the people that I shared experiences with from the last few years, I know won't be going. But there will still be a decent chunk that I can go to games with and all that, and it'll be good fun. It'll be a good weekend. Do you like having unique surname? I hate how I can only read a certain number of chats before they go. Alright, here we go. Fix that. I don't really have any opinion on having a surname that's relatively unique. At least in Australia. If I went to Germany, it'd be a little bit more popular. I think I looked on that website where you can check popular last names, and I think Coupe's maybe in the top few thousand in Germany. It's certainly in the top longer than that here. I think there are only like 60 odd people with the same last name. Yeah, don't really have any opinion on that, to be honest. Did you know you got the Crows v Freo game big call right? Oh, did I? No, I didn't know that. Are you just making that up? Ah, shit. Swans get another one. Why is Jake Lloyd bloody kicking goals from inside 50? Can't remember the last time he's kicked a goal. Although he does sometimes push up forward. Let's see. Fuck, I'm trying to go through the bank of those ones. Under 155 points combined. Are you sure I got that right? I think I might have just got that one wrong. What were the final scores? Or did I just... Wait, 76 plus 78. Is that 154? That's unbelievable. I couldn't have gotten closer if I tried. Look at this. I'm going to show it up on screen. Because I didn't watch a lot of that game, I forgot what it was. I wasn't as invested. On the graphic, it says I only had one correct, but I actually have two correct, I think. Look at this. Where is it? I made this during the week before the game, obviously. Under 155, and there were 154 for the combined during the game. So if they had scored an extra point, I would have not gotten it right. So that is remarkable. That's as close as you're going to get. I think that's the closest I've been to getting one of these right that I've ever had. How good is that? How good is that? I can't remember what the most liked comment for this week is, but it's probably something I'd rather not do. Saving the best game for next week, Port v Saints. Obviously, the most investment I'll have in any game will be that one. Which kind of sucks it's the last game, but it's actually not that bad. I think Collingwood St Kilda in 2023 was the last game, and we were in it. But I think 2025... What was the last... 2024 was a Collingwood Hawthorn game. 2025, a lot of people on the hill enjoying themselves for that game, and obviously I wouldn't ever watch a Saints game on the hill. I'd rather watch a St Kilda game at church, to be honest, than on the hill. we know the history between the Swans and the Eagles. Yeah, well, that was quite a while ago now. We haven't really seen any memorable games. Oh, well, I mean, that 200-point game from Swans was pretty memorable. But, like, I don't think any games with margins are less than 10 points in a very long time. Kelly had a good game last week. Would need the same, if not even more of an output this week. Because the second half, that was really impressive. Do you think the Tigers will go winless? Maybe. I did tip them. Wasn't a great decision in hindsight to tip them because I didn't look anywhere near it. It's a story of Richmond's season. They are scoring at a very, very minimal rate. They average 7 goals a game, I think. It just goes to show probably how bad Carlton are. The fact that they should have beaten them in that game because that was the closest they took it up to any side all year by quite a bit. So, yeah, I think they will end up getting a win though, but could take a while. Likewise with the Bombers. Oh, it's an error there from the Eagles. And Amati, strong on the hands. He's only kicked 1 goal, but he's been in other spots around the ground in this game. Taken a few marks. Probably has benefited from Charlie Curnow being into the side. Taken away a better defender. Less of a prominent target anymore. And I think he's kicked it. What a goal from Amati. 4-0. I don't even think West Coast have been that bad. Still not the standard that they would have wanted though. Sydney by 40. Yeah, I think Sydney by 40. I think Sydney 40 plus. It's not safe, but it's looking safe right now. Have you added me on Discord, Luca? Do you think Charlie Cameron will be back in form? Well, he's slowing down with age. I think he'll probably get it. Oh no, he's had a solid start to the season. I know his first 2 games were pretty good. I can't remember off the top of my head how he played against Collingwood, but you don't need as much of an output that maybe the Lions were expecting of him in the time where he kicked 50 goals a season and all that. Like, he's getting older. He's not as quick, but he just brings back that X factor that the Lions have a lot of those sort of players. Oh my goodness, that's another one. I think that's a goal. It's gone over the line. Oh, that's Jai Sarong, who's in my fantasy team. I don't know how left field of a pick Jai Sarong is, but it's left field enough for me to probably get on top with a selection like that. 32-2 is the scoreline at the moment. Jai Sarong and Lindsay in my team today as well. Devon Robertson obviously not playing. Problem. Real problem. If you're a West Coast fan right now. Yep, he's jumped to 24 fantasy points, the 3rd most on the ground. Richmond, you reckon, win next week against the Giants? That's at the Barossa. Doesn't really advantage any side, but I think GWS actually could win that game by 50 points. That'll play GWS back into form. Yeah, I have Jai Sarong on the field, but problem is I didn't check the team sheet and I had Lockie Doveston on the field, and I don't really have enough forward options to trade on the ground. So there'll be one player on my field this week that won't end up playing, because obviously Robertson got suspended as well. But I already made my trades. I brought in Cook for Philippou. Come on, Dersma. He has started his career with a lot of behinds. 4 to 32. What is my Discord username? I think it's the numbers. You need it. There's a number, right? Hashtag number. I think it's 1029. Have an attempt at that one. See if it works. If not, I can have a look. But I'm not sure why do you want to add me? Because I don't use Discord. Not DMs anyways. The only times I ever use Discord, I guess, is when like that's the only option. Or if it's a preferred use of social media for someone else. I'm on my server occasionally. I wouldn't worry about it too much though, Luca edits. Unpopular opinion, Nick Dacos is underrated. I think it's hard for like the best player in the competition to be considered underrated, but like maybe he's underrated to how the Collingwood side play structurally, because without him they look like a whole lot of a worse side. You're playing Fortnite anytime soon? No, I wasn't planning on playing Fortnite anytime soon. But I could load up some games at some stage. AFL need another team after Tassie Devils come in. Yep, that'll be huge on the AFL's agenda when, well, it's probably already on the AFL's agenda, I'm sure. Who do you reckon comes in as a 20th side? Logistically, what works best for you? Playing any Div 12 Resi games this year? Well, I'm not training with them right now. And their season starts soon, so it's not going to be a full season, but I'll be playing games. I'm sure of that. As the season progresses, I think it's known that I've had a slower start to this year for a few reasons, but getting every week, some slip-ups here and there, but every week it feels like it's building in better spots, better positions. Any plans for my birthday? Well, I've got a mate of mine who's... Look, what we're probably going to do is we're probably just going to all have maybe like a pub night or something, or like a... No, I'm not going to host a party because I got a mate that his birthday's 2 days after mine, and we can just mash the two together. I don't really care that much. I never really make it a big deal, but I'm sure that like that night we might go out, have something nice for dinner, like I've done a few times with my family. Upset alert, Cardi, get yourself an education. Well, I said that obviously before the start of the game. Everyone was saying that this game was like a banana skin game for the Swans. You might be right about the second statement, but not because of that first bit. No, fuck having a Perth team. That's not... What, is it going to be like a... Like a rural area, and it probably needed to be a rural area. I don't think a third Perth team will be overly successful. West Coast to 0-4-5. 5 behinds now. This is the worst possible scenario, I'd probably have to say. Bunbury. Nah, I can't see it happening. They're only playing one game a season there this year. I think that's just going to be a short-term thing anyways. Canberra Dragons would be... Canberra Dragons, I don't know if that rolls off the tongue very nicely. Do you know the kid in your under-14s grand final? Well, I don't know him very well, but yeah. The fullback, you should go to his game again to say hi. And yeah, we'll definitely... Well, I'll definitely consider going on the game. And maybe doing a little bit more of more like genuine access behind the scenes. So maybe a few interviews before the game, get there a little earlier, get to know the plays more, all that stuff. Who was saying banana skin West Coast are always bad against Sydney? A few people were saying it. In the few match reports I was reading. I didn't look up who the journalist was that put the match reports up, but it's probably just something they wanted to throw out. Gain a few clicks, perhaps. But like Sydney weren't all too flash against the Hawks, even though they took it up to them for the duration of the game. But I think they probably were lucky to only lose by a few goals, and West Coast just in the form they're in at home. You never know. But West Coast are never really that side that I can see upsetting really strong top 4 contenders yet. So I'm not surprised with the way this game started. Newcastle. Yeah, I would probably say Canberra deserves a 20th team. Because there's enough there. There's enough of a supporter base that cares about the AFL. I think that'll make it sufficient enough. And that would probably mean the Giants can let go of their Canberra 3-game deal. Because that hasn't really been working for them that well. Like the locals in Canberra want to see some proper marquee matchups, not some irrelevant Giants v North Melbourne game on a Sunday 1 o'clock. Does the AFL need to bring some green team to the game? Bring a green team? What do you mean by a green team? Oh! Oh, Haney! He does that every year now. On Reed as well. Reed has had a touch. That's the mark of the year at this current moment of time. It has to be. I reckon. Not his best. Because he's had some better ones. But that is... well, that's the highlight. If there's ever a highlight of this game, it's probably going to be that. And Reed just knew that he was in a bad position there. Now, some would say, well, that's not a mark because you didn't control it. Well, he did control it. It just hit the ground and it spilled out. I don't think that'll win mark of the year. But I almost feel like that was better than what mark of the year... Who won it last year was Sam Darcy. I reckon that was better than Sam Darcy's mark last year. Yeah, it was... the moment was not as significant, but I almost feel like that just the way he went up. And I think we've already seen some better goals this year than last year's Goldie. I still can't believe Anderson won that. I still cannot believe that the awards become a joke. Great rundown. Sandy Brock. And that wasn't a free kick. Eagles fans are going to be livid, but they're going to get the ball back through Kelly. Kelly will get it again. He's actually been the best player on the ground if you look at the fantasy stats, but you don't always, view that through just the fantasy stats. But impact-wise, he's been there. And it'll be a throw-in with a minute to go. Do you think Will Ashcroft will get all... Yeah, I actually do. I think he's their best midfielder now, Will Ashcroft. Which is... pretty scary to see that he's already become that good of a player in a few years that he's been at the Lions. And the Lions have obviously got so many guns themselves. So, yeah, scary signs for the comp. Shit call, that should have been ball. I don't know what the umpire was thinking. Maybe he thought... I don't even know why he was blindside. Thought Heaney maybe handballed it. No way he could have seen that, though. So West Coast yet to score a goal, but that's not the first time this year that's happened. They like to wait a bit to get themselves going in games, but they probably got to realise that footy starts in the first quarter, not at half-time or quarter-time. And tell that to Carlton. Footy doesn't end at half-time. Might be another one here for the Swans if they're good enough, and normally they are. They've got so many players free. Is that Curnow that could go over the top? Well, Heaney will probably kick the goal off the ground. He does. So Heaney kicks the goal and they lead it by 33 points. Heaney's had a huge first quarter. Heaney has been everywhere with the 10 disposals, a goal, and one of the mark of the year contenders already. Who's trying to say Southport? Southport are literally in Gold Coast, although Southport have been a dominant side over the last number of seasons, to be honest. Yeah, I still don't think West Coast defence is anywhere near top 10 quality. Let's see how long this handball game lasts, because if it can cut through the Eagles like this in the first quarter, it just didn't last for a full game against Hawthorn. So we'll see if they I guess when they start wearing down a little bit, because West Coast will find themselves back in the game. Get things on their terms a bit more. How are they winning more than I tipped already? Well, they haven't kicked the goal yet, West Coast. I'm not shocked with this start.
You've just got to engage in the fight that Sydney have set up one-on-one.
Brock launching, sends it deep into attack.
And I'll tell you, West Coast have had their fair share of opportunities as well. They've just been poorly with the way they've converted. 88 disposals to 83. So West Coast have had more disposals. -7 contested. They're marking it more than Sydney are. So just haven't been doing as much with it. Kind of some nothing disposals. So it's 33 points. Yeah, I might. I won't actually. I'll keep the title as what it is. Upset alert. There'd be some delusional West Coast fans that might see this as an upset for Sydney if they win, but 33 points is the margin at the moment. I still do feel like the Eagles aren't going to disgrace themselves for the rest of the game because they've been really good in the... well, if you take away the first quarter, I think West Coast win... Well, they've already won 2 games and they wouldn't have beat Gold Coast, but it would have made it close. Yeah, well, I'm reading the clearances at the moment. 13-7. Which is probably not a surprise with Sydney's quality they have in there. Efficiency inside 50, 42-69. But they've had more inside 50s. They've had more inside 50s, but they've just been sort of bombing in there, doing not much with it. Who's your player of the round so far? Good question. I almost want to say George Wardlaw for his last quarter against Carlton, just the desperation he showed. But you can't base off a quarter. But I don't really like just checking the stats and see who has the most stats and go, oh, well, that player had 40, so he's been the best on ground. Because you can't really say that about like a Sheasel 40 disposal against West Coast wasn't even in the top 10. Will Ashcroft would be probably one of the players I have in my mind against Collingwood. He was really good. In the North v Carlton game, like McKercher started well, but he sort of slowed down a little bit. There hasn't been a standout player. Any contenders in the chat? Not a surprise today's crap footy games coming ahead of the Saints v. I don't really do a much of an update myself on whether. Oh, we haven't played yet. Why would I want to care about the Saints? Ever since we've gotten ourselves our own license in the VFL, we've been a lot shitter, and Sandringham have actually been a lot more competitive. They've started 2-0, Sandy. Well, no, they've started 3-0. No, they're 2-1. We haven't won a game yet. We're last in the VFL, so it's not great. We haven't really got a lot of options of players to come back into the side. They're not really tearing it up in the VFL. But we play Richmond tomorrow at... Actually, where do we... Wait, let's have a look. We play Richmond at RSC at 1 o'clock. I haven't been to a VFL game in 15 years. I don't think I've went since we played Box Hill in like 2011. Collard's a turd. Yeah, I know. Well, do you take his word for it that he didn't say a slur and it was what he reckons the word was maggot? But especially for someone who's already gotten caught for using homophobic language on the footy field, the fact that he thinks that using that word is going to be a good idea when it's a very similar sounding word to a certain other word. But he only got reported by one player from the opposing side, the Frankston side. So, yeah, they'll make a decision soon, but I'm probably not, like, if he does get penalised for it, I think that's it for his career. I'm not going to be too quick to jump to his defence at the moment. But I don't think he's going to get that suspend. I don't think it's going to be that, like, I think he's just going to probably only get the suspension for the knock that he had. Who was the player reporting him? I don't know. I can have a look. I can read that up. Lance Collard. Not that it's hugely important information. It'd be a VFL Frankston player. And I'm not sure if they've even released that information yet. They might want to keep his name just hidden for now. But I think he's set to appear at court soon. Oh no, like a tribunal hearing, I meant. Next week, sometime throughout the week. But like, he wasn't really... He's had enough opportunities at AFL level and he just hasn't cracked into the senior side. Thoughts on Albo's speech on April 1? You know, I never ended up seeing it because I just didn't really give a fuck. But from what I've heard, it didn't really give too much clarity over like the future of the country and all that. He was basically... What did he say? It was just like, if you can, don't use your car, but also don't panic. Use public transport when you can. I think that's a lot of what he said. But I didn't really watch it. That's his second time. Oh, that's the thing, right? Second time doing it, so it gives him less. It's harder to trust him, trust his word for it. But he's very adamant on it. He's been constantly putting that excuse to. Well, he's constantly been telling everyone that's the reason why what actually happened. So we'll see. I don't know, but I don't think he's going to get away with it with a slap on the wrist though. Something's going to happen. 5-38. Well, let's see if West Coast can at least win this quarter. He should use public transport. Well, Albo. We'd like to know the last time he'd ever have used public transport, to be honest. I'm going to be using it a lot more now that it's free. Might as well. Oh, you can't be dropping that, mate. Which Isaac Heaney mark is your favourite? The Sydney Freo one in Gold Coast, it isn't my favourite. It's probably maybe his best, but I have it ranked a little lower due to the environment that the mark was taken in. It was a pretty dour game on the Gold Coast and with no crowd, and Kelly Underwood didn't paint the moment as well as she would. It would have been nice if the moment was captured a little better commentary wise. But I'd probably say the Melbourne. Actually, that Melbourne-Sydney game, then there was a Bulldogs-Sydney mark. I'd probably say the final one. Yeah, the final in 2024, which should have been the mark of the year, but they don't award it during the finals. G'day, Sportsnut. What sport? I'm American. JK. Yeah, I'm sure you have some idea of what sport this is, given you've clicked on the stream. I just spent $130 on petrol. I haven't been spending more than $30 now. Like $50 is the most I put in the tank. I'm just like, fuck it. If I put, you know what, if I put more, then I'm just going to be encouraged to use more. If I put less, I'll be like, all right, well, I'll just use this amount and I won't use it for the next week. 10-cent discount fuel for gather round. Yeah, that'll be handy because I now will probably travel via vehicle, but I won't be using my own car to get up. Just less stuff to worry about. Am I doing fantasy forfeits? No, I'm not. I'm not in any leagues that have fantasy forfeits. If you don't count a Premier League fantasy league that I'm in every year with my mates over the last few years. But this year I'm actually not going to come last. But they're not weekly forfeits though. They're at the end of the year. I'm not excited to turn 18 next year to get peas with. Give me a second to respond to that because Papley's taken it and gone with a ripper. What a goal. Taken it out of the pack and he's absolutely dobbed it from the boundary line. 44 plays 5. Blake, what's been the highlight of your trip so far in the US of A? Where can we meet? it's probably going to have to be potluck. If you see me, I'll say g'day. That's the fourth person to comment on the title. Upset alert. The one time I decided to actually put something a little bit different, add a little spice to the title. I don't fucking regret saying upset alert because it's still an alert. It's a. You could technically say that for any game where the side. You know, you got two sides on the opposite ends of the ladder. We've seen some really good goals and some really good marks. If you just missed it, Heaney takes one of the marks of the year in the end, at the late stage of the first quarter. I forgot what I was going to say to Sportsnut. Oh well, I've got I don't really know what's going to happen in the next month, or the next 2 weeks, but I don't think the petrol prices will be. I think they'll eventually drop to more affordable levels next year for your sake. But they'll probably still be more expensive than average than they were in the last few years. West Coast are now 0-4-6. Let's see how many attempts it'll take for the Eagles to get their first goal. Cats cheer squad. For Easter Monday, yes. But this isn't. We're not talking Easter Monday. I thought we were talking about Melbourne Gold Coast. Thank you, Phil Footy. I appreciate your input. I agree, it does. Wayne Carey, what are your thoughts, Naz to the Crows? I'm not sure if Naz wants to go to any SA team at the moment. They're not particularly going great, but yeah, I don't think he's staying at the Saints if we don't. I don't think we'll probably need to win at least a final in the next 2 years. So I think it'll be next year that happens. I'm still holding on to a bit of hope. Naz or Dacos. Obviously, I love my boy Naz, but Dacos is a better player. He's more consistent, and he can handle a tag. But I think overall, there is still a chance Naz could outperform Dacos, over a consistent period. He just needs to find his own a little bit. It's been a bit of a difficult start to the year for himself with the tags and the not knowing where the right position is for him to play, and the use of his the use of overall his positioning in the first few rounds from Ross Lyon. So yeah, I'm not going to be biased and say Naz, but he's one of the best players in the comp still, and he can do anything. He's a magical player in the forward line. He can jump on top of people's heads, kick goals, can rack them up from half back and win centre clearances, and he's one of the best kicks in the comp. How long until Voss gets sacked? Well, they're saying he's definitely not going to get sacked after the game last night. So, and that's what I said before. Even if they lose, I didn't think they were going to sack him straight away. Although you could maybe view it in a way as it's a waste for the next however long they keep having him out as a coach, because nothing's happening out of it. But is it the play's fault, or is it just the mental thing now, and you just sort of need to wipe it off and just get rid of it, the coach, and start from fresh? But I think they're going to make the decision in the next 5 or 6 weeks, but it's probably a little early to make the sacking now, isn't it? Like round 4. Don't think we've seen a coach get sacked that early in a very long time. Reid and Dersma are racking up the footy, but not where I want them to. They need to kick some goals for my big call. I think Ashcroft will be the best player. Will Ashcroft? Yeah, well, I think he's going to be All-Australian this year, so he's probably almost getting to that tier that they're in, the levels. Because he's 1 year younger than the other two, right? I think. Cullen's the next 6. Adelaide, Collingwood, Fremantle, St Kilda, Brisbane, and the Bulldogs. Yeah, people are actually fearing their next 6, because I knew they had a tough start in the first place. They have a lot of away games against some tough sides. I think that Adelaide, Freo, and Brisbane game are all away. So, bar a miracle, they're going to lose those games. And If they fucking beat us, I'll be really disappointed. That'll probably say more, or tell us more about how we are than how the Blues are if they beat us in that game. But we should really get a hold of the Blues. I'd be relatively confident going into a game against them. But if they lose to Port, that'll be pretty bad, won't it? Speaking of pretty bad, the Eagles are looking not amazing, are they? The Swans are just doing what they please right now. We haven't really been able to take a listen to what the Eagles' goal song is yet, because it's been 8-0. The game's become a little secondary, and the upset alert in the title's looking more and more silly as we continue. Could get ugly here. Well, if this ends up being 100+ points, it sort of sets back the club a little bit. It almost resets them in a way. It'll bring them back to reality big time. But I still don't think West Coast have been awful. I think Sydney have been so clinical the way they move with the handballs, and West Coast just are really struggling inside 50, but they've had a similar amount of inside 50s, haven't they? Can't see Crows getting both Zach and Naz. Zach Butters. Oh, Zach Bailey. I'm not sure who the front runner is to get Zach Bailey. Obviously, I'd love him to come to us, but I think maybe a Victorian club is probably more likely. And also, yeah, chance of going to Adelaide because of the fact that he's South Australian. So I think they'll probably get him over Naz if I'm going to be talking about what's more likely. Oh, almost a mark there. I don't know who that was. If West Coast keep getting some more behinds, we're going to start to want to find out how long it's taken, like how many scoring shots it's taken for a side to get their first goal in a game, or in the last 20 years. Obviously, I think 0 goals 6 won't quite make the record books happen quite yet, but if it's 0 goals 10, I'm not sure if I've seen a game where a side started 0-10 or 0-11. So let's hope that the points continue, because they're not going to win this game, let's be honest. There'll be something that we can invest our time in with this game. Let's see how Jai Sarong's going with his fantasy score, because I need him to score for me. He started well in the first. How are people's fantasy and Supercoach teams going that are competing this week? Because I'm not having a great week fantasy-wise, Supercoach-wise. Fantasy's been okay. We need Bont to just go score massively tomorrow. Are you still down to meet us? Hey, look, if as I said before, if I'm in the Geelong cheer squad and you're able to come down at some stage or half-time or whatever, you come up and say, "G'day, I'm not going to bite." Been a crap round for you in fantasy. Well, what's your score at the moment? I would kind of like to compare mine with yourself, because my rank for the round is, it's still early. I've still got players to play. It's 33,000. Thankfully, I didn't take the punt on Butters for captain, because I know a few people that did. I'm like, nah, you give a Bulldogs player the captaincy. Sheasel 81 wasn't ideal, and Shai Bolton, who started off with some really good form, he plays a more difficult opponent and only scores 66. 1936, Footscray v Carlton, 0 goals 11. Yeah, my guess would be what the final score of the game was, right? So they ended up scoring 0 goals 11 for the day. But how long before the first goal? Because I'm not at all going to say that the Eagles are going to go this whole game without scoring a goal. But they could go 2 quarters and a half and they score 12 behinds before their first. 1,029. Yeah, okay. So I've got, my score's at 1,000. So just a little under you. So, like you said, pretty crap. But I had Bont as well, like a lot of people do. So I'll be cheering him on at the game. And this is just a little too easy. It's like West Coast falling asleep when Sydney counter-attack. I honestly don't know what's going on. It's not been a good start for the Eagles today, unfortunately. It's not been the same West Coast side that beat both North Melbourne and Port Adelaide and were full of run and energy. Kernay's going to most likely kick his second goal, and the scoreline is going to start looking really bad if it hasn't already. 6-51 it is. And Kerno, the left foot snap, kicks his second, and it's 6-57. Could we get our first 100-point smashing of the season? Yeah, 0 goals, 18, I think is actually the worst scoreline accuracy-wise, if you know what I mean. So 0 goals, 18. Most behinds without a goal. I have Dacos as my Supercoach captain. Couldn't change. Why was he your captain in the first place, though? Because he was a Thursday. He started on the Thursday, so he shouldn't have been your captain. A few people said that to me on the Friday game stream as well. Not ideal for the Eagles this week. Yeah, well, they've set them back down to reality, and I think there's still a good chance of finishing bottom 4. A lot of people after last week said that, oh shit, they could be a chance to finish top 10. You can't have all the low sides finishing top 10. I don't think there'll be many opportunities to finish in the top 10 for the sides that didn't finish there last year. I think it's going to be... Like, I almost feel like the top 10's just about locked. There might be one spot available. Perhaps Collingwood drop out. They weren't good last week or on Thursday. Well, that's not exactly what I'm asking question-wise, Pat Kaz. I know that's the longest time in the last... at least 25 years that it's taken for a side to kick their first goal. But I'm talking how many behinds before the first goal? Because I don't think they had many scoring shots in that game. I think they kicked maybe 3. I'm really now hoping for West Coast to not score in the first half, just so we have something to hope for in the second half. And by score, I mean goal. Punch it through. Yes. Yes. 0 goals, 7 the Eagles are. I'm sorry, West Coast fans, but I'm going to be cheering against you guys kicking a goal. I made a bet to every team. No one will lose by 100 points. West Coast better not ruin it. How did you make a bet to every team?
There's a gap between the two teams, Hato, is what you're saying.
No one is playing with a dry footy there. The conditions are perfect, mate. But West Coast are playing like it's a slippery footy, and the Swans are playing like it's a dry pill. Joe, Tomo, what's going on? Where do you think Saints will place? I'm still thinking we'll finish in the top 10. But I'll hold on to that after the Port game. If we lose that, nah, we're not going to make the charge. Loser gets 3 sides that might not even finish top 10 in the first 5 weeks. I bet my dad $20. If Sydney win, I'll give him $20. And if Eagles win, my dad gives me 20. How old are you to be making bets like that with your dad, mate? But I mean, I tell you what, you're a bit of an idiot for making that bet, because I never thought West Coast were going to win this game. Here's a chance, though, the Eagles. Baker. Oh, no, that was Graham, actually. And because of the lasso rule, it's going to go back to the Swans. How long will it take before the Eagles kick their first major, chat? Will it be... will we be waiting till after half-time, or will the Eagles maybe get a late one in this second? Because there's still enough time, obviously. Always is. Can you read out my name and answer where will the Crows finish? Okay, I have a crystal ball and I'll tell you they finished 9th. Would you take that? Sydney get a free kick. Is that downfield or will that go back? I reckon they get it late in the second, but I hope not as well. Hopefully not. Anyways, it is the Easter weekend. I wouldn't mind knowing what your guys' plans are for Easter tomorrow. I haven't got any Easter eggs, unfortunately, to munch on for tomorrow, which sucks. Might get a couple. Well, I say I might get a couple. They'll all be on sale on the Monday. And sales these days for chocolate are just regular price. Oh, it could be a free kick to Marty. I think they're going to give it. They are going to give it. I mean, it helps when City have been very accurate in front of goal. This margin could blow out to even more. Yeah, cooked is one way of putting it. That's an understatement. My brother got me a giant chocolate dragon. Sounds extravagant. Nice. Does Mexico have any different Easter tradition? I don't know. I know it's a little different for Christmas, but like Mexico, it's quite a religious country, so I'm sure a lot of it's got to do with that. Probably going to church and all that. But that could be something I could look into. Culturally, I might ask my mum about that, but I'm not 100% sure. Who's your favourite Crows player? I like a few of their plays. I'll probably still say Isaac Rankin in terms of excitement factor. He's quite up there. Oh, look at this champion. Could he create something for the Eagles? Nice. Not quite exactly what I want though, but nice nonetheless. The fact that he actually hit the kick, running at full pelt. Coles and Woolies were busted saying things were on... Yeah, you just knew it wasn't. But they're going to suck all the consumers in that are just having to buy... And people are just... They're going to get sucked in and pay for the fucking Easter bunnies that are $12 when they probably only cost a few dollars to make. Come on, Archer Reed. Please miss this. I'm sorry. You've probably got a lot on the line if you miss this for your... Oh, he's missed it. Yes. Oh, I shouldn't be celebrating so much over this because I don't hate West Coast that much. I genuinely wanted them to be competitive, but I've lost all feeling now for that with the margin being 50 points. He's hit the post. They jumped the gun early, the fans. They thought that went through, which is a little demoralising for them. And Sydney just streaming out the defensive 50 so easily. It is a... Yeah, it's an interesting scoreline. It's 0-8 to 9-4. Richmond almost went a half without scoring yesterday as well. So we've seen a few of those situations, haven't we? Still rather be West Coast. Oh, 100% you'd still rather be the Eagles and the Blues. And even with West Coast, like you just know that they'll find the way to get back on top and be a successful side again. They win a flag every 8 years. They're a well-run club. And this is probably the right way that you need to go about actually rebuilding. You know, picking up talent. Top draft picks, you know, like Reed, Shanahan and Dersma. Which I don't believe Shanahan was... I actually forgot what pick he was, but I don't think he was a top 5. I think he was actually more of a... Quite a lot lower than that, actually. Yeah, 30. Yeah, you know. Maybe Duff Tyler's that other player I was thinking of. Well, he was. I saw a rumour that West Coast wife won't celebrate Easter with him if he doesn't win. I didn't know a football club could have a wife. Kerno could, yeah, definitely kick a bag tonight. And is daylight savings tonight or is it tomorrow night? I can't remember. But if that's the case, as Kerno pops home his 3rd goal, and yeah, I haven't got many words right now to describe this current situation that the Eagles are in. If anyone was writing off Sydney, I know this is a game against just West Coast, but you have to take them a little bit more seriously for sure. 3 a.m. this morning. Oh, it is. All right, right. Everyone set your clocks back if that's something people still do. Charlie Kerno playing well. Yeah, but yeah, it's good that he's getting back into form. But I think Sydney brought him into the club to do this against some of the better opponents as opposed to just filling in his boots. He tends to do it, doesn't he? He fills in his boots against the shitter teams, Kerno, but against some of the top sides, I mean, at least this season he hasn't been as impactful. Everything is automatic now. Well, that is right. But they still make that call. And that'll be paid a free kick. And that kick from Davis is a little bit dodgy. It'll come back. Grundy with strength. My big call is almost certainly not going to get up tonight. Because Dersmer has just got... Oh, no, he hasn't. Never mind. I thought he had only 3. 7 disposals, still probably less than what he would have hoped for. And the Reed just the 6. He's been well held. Tom McCartan, well done. I could see a late West Coast goal here. West champion, there he is, Heaney. They'll be desperate here, the Eagles. So will the Swans, to not allow them to score a goal. Nice work. And the handball game that they're so good at, the Swans. Just carving up the Eagles. This is going to be very tough to defend. Oh, they've just got so many numbers. You can just go over the top there. You do. Cunningham in this time. And there's 11 goals in a row for the Swans. They've got the first 11 of the game. Wowee. Thilthorpe or Curnow now? I'd rather Thilthorpe. I think Thilthorpe's got more. He's just an overall more consistent player, and he just attacks contest harder. He's stronger, and he still does a lot around the ground as well as not just having an impact up forward. Whereas Curnow not so much. So I definitely think Thilthorpe's the better player. I really do like him. I had him for the Coleman this year. Maybe he's not that player to ever win a Coleman. But like a 50 to 60 goal season is probably what you expect from Thilthorpe. If Sydney get close to 200 points, I just can't see this sustaining itself for the second half. It's pretty rare to see that happen. Kelly from the square. Oh, could be their first here. Waterman. Damn. They've kicked the goal. That ruins the fun. But they probably were... Obviously, they were due. Who suggested this? I think it was a few people. I know Zay did. And it will only be used once because it's just kind of obvious to use Eagle Rock for the Eagles. Please respond. Who is your favourite Fremantle player? I don't know. Josh Tracy, probably. That could be the fire starter. Well, I could honestly see the second half margin being like 40 points over at the end. I could still see my tip being pretty close to being right. 50-minute penalty. Grundy's going to have a shot here. The Eagles are shit. They're better than they were last year. I'm certain of that, but they're still going to have these sort of games, are they? But at least they're not going to go the first half goalless. I actually sort of think they will win the second half, West Coast. Because, you know, Sydney might just put the queue in the rack a little bit and maybe rest a few plays in the last quarter like we've seen in other games. Just so they have their players ready for the big game next week in Norwood. Which I really want to go to, the Norwood game against the Gold Coast. Which doesn't deserve a Norwood Oval venue slot, but, you know, that they were always going to do that. 12 goals to 1. Yeah, well, it's probably the worst case scenario again for the Eagles here. You get a goal, you want to stay with a little bit of momentum, and then you got Harley Reid, I think it was, that gave away a 50, which is something in his game that he's still not really gotten rid of. Swan Sun next week will be a great game. And it's what, Norwood Oval yet? So that's just going to be weird. Who's gonna be more suited to the ground dimensions? Every game I can remember that I've been to at Norwood has been really hot. Is Gather Round next week going to be another hot week, or is it going to be a bit cool? Oh, it's going to be much cooler. It's going to be like 15 degrees. I'd rather that. I don't really like 37-degree days at the footy. It's a bit difficult to sit in conditions like that, especially with when there's no cover at fucking regional shitty venues. Not a mark. Not a mark. Oh, I thought that they paid touched. Sadly, we lost it, but it's okay. We know it isn't. Grundy's kicked the goal in every game this season. That's a stat that probably might be the first time he's ever done that. Doubt he's ever had a season where he started with 4 goals in the first 4 games as a ruckman. Dersma takes a good mark there. And there you go, 50-metre penalty. So they'll be in range. 350 metres to 1 already. I'd like to know how many more 50 metres have been paid this year because of this rule. Some of the gather round fixturing could be improved. Yeah, it's sort of a no-brainer, and I said that before we got to know how the teams were going to go this year, and my points are still relevant to this day. Having the shit sides play at the Adelaide Oval. We didn't want an Adelaide Carlton game, as West Coast get a second through Baker. Come back, you reckon? It's a greater chance of Harley Reid kicking 7 goals in the second half than a comeback happening. What team do you think gets the most robbed? Adelaide would have to be, right? You just have to say the Crows with the number of times they get stiffed over by umps. Hawthorn v the Bulldogs. Yeah, so I probably can only see 5 games at most being worth watching, and that would be definitely Sydney Gold Coast, Hawthorn Western Bulldogs, Fremantle Collingwood. I reckon I can throw into that pack, and then that might almost just be it. Like maybe Port St Kilda as well. There's intrigue in that game, I guess. Port Adelaide turning up during gather round, and obviously St Kilda are desperate for a win, and then that's sort of it. Like the rest of the other games, I don't reckon will be particularly close. Well, at least for West Coast's sake, they go into half-time with something. Kelly might be a shout for fantasy. I don't trust Kelly. I really wouldn't trust him to be brought into the team. Do you think it'll still be 100 points? I never thought it was going to be 100 points, to be honest. But no, I don't think it'll be 100 points. I think... Yeah, I still think 35 to 65, that'll be the range. We'll see at the end of the game. Which is a bit of an open range there, but give myself a little bit of a chance to get it right. I'm going on a school camp after the holidays. We might be going to a game, and the only game... a school camp, they let you go to the footy. I wish I went to the school you went to. Fucking... The only school camps that I went to, they made us do some bullshit, you know, walking bush trails for 3 hours at night, getting bitten by spiders. I didn't want to do any of that crap. That's the activity we had to participate in. You guys get to go to the footy. Watch a pretty good game. That'll be Collingwood v Hawthorn. Although I can't remember the last Collingwood Hawthorn game that was close. Actually, no, I do. It was the gather round game to finish off 2024. The one that I had to e-scooter to get to. I can't go to the Anzac game. Do you have like... Oh, I'd probably be through like some Anzac ceremony you're doing through school, I assume, if you're having an Anzac Day camp. Something that a lot of the leaders of the school have to participate in. And there you go. That's about as complete of a quarter as you could have wanted for Sydney. And Heaney as well. I think he's kicked 2 goals. 18 touches. And As I said before, one of the better marks you'll ever see this season. And it is pretty unfortunate, but it's not overly surprising. I still think this has been a better game to watch than the Port Adelaide Richmond one. That would have put a lot of people to sleep. That's a chopsticks in your eyes sort of game, if ever. Yeah, Sovereign Hill. Most probably that live in Melbourne would have been to Ballarat for a camp one year. We went there in 2011. Will you go to the Carlton Adelaide game in Gather Round? I don't even know if I've got tickets to that game yet. And I know the tickets are sold out, so maybe not, but hopefully. I just cannot see Carlton being anywhere near close to getting a win at all. It's just... If they had their chances again, the AFL, they would have rearranged that fixture because fuck having Carlton play Adelaide. Well, that was a fun half, says AL. It certainly would have been. Yeah, you would have been very relaxed throughout that first half. What player, maybe apart from Heaney, was most impressive? Maybe one of those players that you wanted to see them take the next step in a game like this, and have started well in this first half. Sarong was good. Marty, I thought, looked pretty good as well. Bice. Swan Sun's going to feed generations in Gather Round. And that's a game that I'd love to know how many neutral fans are going to go to. Because who actually ended up getting tickets to that game? Not me. Yet. It's going to be a tough one to get, but I'll do my best to go. Might even... Well, I mean, that's Saturday. You're going to get that game, and then you're going to be treated with another really good one in Hawthorn Bulldogs. Join my fantasy league. I'm in enough fantasy leagues as it is, to be honest. So, probably not. My school have been to the Grand Prix, Melbourne Museum, Werribee Zoo, Melbourne Museum isn't that. The Grand Prix, though, like, you must be at some sort of a private school to get the ability to go there. That's not cheap. At all. Not cheap in the slightest. All right, we're going to do a little throwback quiz to the 06 Grand Final. Because it is the 20-year... I think this is the 20-year anniversary. They did some pre-game stuff. And I'm going to see how good I can do here. We can obviously get help from the chat. If anyone's got a good good knowledge bang from back in this day. If you guys were watching footy back then or just know in general. But we've got another Sporkle quiz. I'm kind of on the Sporkle quizzes in the last few weeks. Or in the last couple of streams, that is. This is just name the two squads that played in the game. It's as simple as that. You only have 6 minutes for this, so we'll have not as much time as that last one where we had to name all the players. So if you guys want to participate, you don't have to participate. You can talk about some other stuff, but we'll be invested in this for 6 minutes. We'll give it a red hot crack. Didn't want to do that. All right. And we'll also check my fantasy scores quickly after this as well. Might as well check Supercoach. So, I don't know what score I'm predicting. I just don't want people to cheat. So, I think Embley was a Norm Smith medalist in that game. Leo Barry. This isn't the Leo Barry game, but yes, he obviously played. Dean Cox. Staker. Did he actually not play? Maybe that was a famous... He famously didn't play, and I didn't realise. I'll remember. Bennett Cousins. Kerr would have played. Judd. Oh, we also have to do coaches. Let's do Ruse and Worsfold. Josh Kennedy. This is the 06 Grand Final, so he wasn't playing during that era. Banfield. All right, Sydney. Let's get some Sydney names listed. Let's go Michael O'Loughlin, Adam Goods. Staker missed the premiership and got knocked the fuck out by Hall for his troubles. Yeah. Now I sort of I'm coming to remember it a little bit more now. Now that you say that. Imagine if the Bombers beat the Bulldogs. That'll be funny as fuck. It'd be honestly the best win they've had in like 10 years if they ended up doing that. And it pretty much all of the talk on Scott will be probably moved to Luke Beveridge in a sense, even after the start that he's had, losing to bloody fucking West Coast. So not West Coast. We're doing a West Coast quiz, Eston. Shuin, no, 06. I'm gonna try and see if I can contribute a little bit more. Stengline, right? Stengline. Yep. Darren Glass. Wirapunda. Did he play? Probably. I don't know how to spell his name though, but I know I'm almost certain he would have played. I don't know if any. I don't. Maybe Richards. Yeah, Ted Richards, Malcheski. I'm not sure if McVeigh. Oh, he did. Thought that was a little bit before his time. Adam Selwood. Yes, rest in peace. Who else? Quinton Lynch. Ryan O'Keefe. Kirk. Bolton. Did I do Bolton? I don't. Yeah, Craig and Jude Bolton. Schneider. I'm just thinking of former St Kilda players. And Dempster. Luke Ablett. Wirapunda. I vividly remember pulling a Wirra. Unless he didn't play. But I know he was in this West Coast team. Maybe he just didn't get a selection. Or was injured. Scott West. The hell? Roberts Thompson. Roberts. Tom. Oh, no P. Okay. Barry Hall. Yep. Yeah, he would have been the captain, right? Nick Davis. Yep. What do we got now? 28 of 46. I could probably see if I can remember a few more off the top of my head. It'd be some left field names now that I've probably got to get. Some of the backmen from West Coast. We got a lot of the Sydney backmen. Was there a Smith playing for any of the sides? Nick Davis, come to save us. Jeez, you would have felt like an absolute legend to bring a sign like that and have a moment like that occur, to have the sign be so memorable. Ty Kennelly. Yep. Right. So we've got all of the defence for Sydney. We've got definitely more of the Sydney players. So for West Coast, who else played it for them? I did Glass. We've done Cox. Who was the ruckman for Sydney at the time? It wasn't. Who was Sydney's ruckman? Oh, Buchanan. Did he play for them? Yes. Eamon Buchanan. Obviously not the ruckman. Jolly. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Obviously Collingwood as well. 3 more Sydney players to get, and we've still got like half of the West Coast players to get here with only a minute. Oh shit, we only got a minute. Doyle. Fucking hell. Even though this West Coast side was so memorable and stacked, for whatever reason, none of us can quite remember half the names. Who? Oh yeah, Fosdyke. Yes, I don't know him well, but I've heard of the name. Waters. Bo Waters, yep. Yep, Joseph, good work. Chad Fletcher. I mean, at this rate, we actually could still maybe be on here. Braun. Michael. There you go. Armstrong. Stephen Armstrong. We got 7 more here. Hunter. Have we done Hunter? Chick. Daniel Chick. That was actually my one that I got. Yeah. Hunter and Chick were involved in the goal. That's why I got Chick in my mind. Daniel Che. We've done Chick. We've done Embley. We've done Stenk. We need the centre half forward. Who was the centre half forward for the Eagles? And I reckon I'll know the name. And we need a forward pocket for Sydney. Banfield, Ablett. Ablett's not going to count. Oh, no, we've already done Ablett. Oh, what? So, We're a punter. I did have that name. CB, Matthews, Hanson, Butler. Some of the unsung heroes for the Eagles side. Should we do another quiz? If so, give me like a topic. It can be one from this era. It could be a more recent one. I don't know how specific you're going to necessarily get with some of these, but we can do one more. I don't mind it. It's a good way of passing the time and learning a little bit more. Yes, well, go on. Chuck a quiz suggestion. How long have we got till the second half begins? I'm guessing probably at least another 10 minutes. Yeah, probably another 10 minutes. Fairly good effort. Yeah, if I did that on my own, I probably would have just scraped past 50%, some more, maybe 60%. I would have missed a few. Mark McRae, 26. We don't have to do the grand final. All right, we may as well then. We'll stay on that trend. I was gonna say the 20. I was actually gonna say the 2005 grand final, but then I'm like, well, it's probably gonna be very similar. All right, 2010 AFL grand final plays. Courtesy of Sergeant Q. Thank you very much for the quiz. You know, the efforts for those that do create these Sporkle quizzes do not go unnoticed. All right, 6 minutes on the clock here. Let's go again. And we'll start with, I think Collingwood will be on the left. So, Reed, Shaw, O'Brien, Maxwell. I tell you, this is probably going to be one that we should get. We're doing Collingwood. Boyd. Let's keep going. Side bottom played in that. Pendlebury. Swan. What am I doing? Swan, Beams. Didak for Solo. Blair. Oh, that's fine. Oh, I was going to say Adam Hunter. Sportsnut. Fast forward a little bit. Pedals. Matt Jones. Fuck, I mean, yeah, obviously St Kilda, I could probably do all names on my own, but let's just do... Are people watching this like on a little bit of a delay? Because they're giving me West Coast names. I'm like, well, we already did that. And Lacroix wasn't playing in the 2006 grand final. Varco wasn't. No, wouldn't be him. Dawson. Dempster. Ray. Jones. Gwilt. Did we do Gwilt? No, yeah, we did Gwilt. Fisher. Hayes. Rewalt. Oh, we must have done Hayes. Rewalt. Schneider, Milne, Kazitsky, Luke Ball for Collingwood, Nathan Brown for Collingwood, then moved to the Saints. We've got Lee Brown as well. The ruck would have been Jolly, Travis Cloak, McQualter, yep, the current Eagles coach. Nah, not Buckley, wouldn't be him. We've done Shaw. Goldsack, I reckon. Did Tuvey play or... Yep, Alan Tuvey. Reed. Did Matera play? Matera? Not sure if that's directed at this. No, not Paddy Ryder. Yeah, Buckley infamously hasn't won a premiership. A lot of people know him just through that. We've still got a number of the St Kilda players to get through. Graham. Fisher, we got Jack Dawson. Come on. Gilbert played in that game. Graham, Wellingham. Good shout. Yep. Got most of the Collingwood players. Let's do the coach for the Pies. Malthouse. Gardner. Michael Gardner. He actually didn't play. I think he played in the replay. So it would have been Stephen King. Who was the St Kilda ruckman in 2010? Was it McAvoy? Yep. Moldhouse, Dalsano, Goddard. Come on, we've got to get all of the names here. We need only 8 more. I reckon we've got it in us. Stephen Baker. Nice. Half forward flank. Robert Eddy, I reckon. Yep. Bit of an obscure name that one was. 2 more to go for the Saints. And we got 4 more for the Pies. And then we'll see if we move on to one more quiz or not. I got Eddie. No, this is 2010, mate. Grundy wasn't quite. around during that time. No, Gardner played in the replay though. I think this is the regular. Why would he have been listed without a name? I don't think we got a point for that. I've done beams. I've got to think here. What's the small forward? Leon Davis. What the fuck? Why is Leon Davis picked up on the St Kilda side? That's a glitch in the system, if I've ever seen one. Brett Peake. I don't think he played. Oh no, yeah, he did. He did play in the grand final. And then there's one more for the Saints here. Probably. Definitely would know the name. We've done Didak. I think we've also done Dale Thomas, but if we haven't, I'll put him in. We haven't. Did Andrew Cracker play in this game? Just can't remember if he even played that year. Jordan De Goey. This is the Bo, we're doing the 2010 grand final. So these players just weren't playing during that time. McCaffer. Good name. Yep. Phil Footy's helping out quite a lot here. Oh, he went to Collingwood the next year. Yeah, I was going to say I didn't remember him in the game, but I don't even remember the game that much. The replay, definitely not. The draw, I do remember a lot of moments, some key moments. Chris Dawes. Yep. All right, 45 seconds. Let's see. Ben Johnson, maybe? Yes. All right. Can we get the last name here? We probably will. Let's see. For the Saints. Pronounce Rui's name as Revolt. People, as he and Jack both said that. Yeah, I mean, no one really pronounced it like that. But if that's the way to do it, I guess I just know I won't. Oh, Jason Blake. Yep. Who was it? There was Phil Footy again. Nice. Nice stuff. All right. We've done it 100%. We could do one more if we wanted to. We'd have time. Just sort of killing time here at halftime. Good way of doing so. Yeah, you always forget Jason Blake. He's played over 200 games and infamously got his first Brownlow vote like in one of his last seasons. It doesn't have to be grand finals. I mean, we could literally just, what's like an easy one? So let's look up like AFL 2026 so everyone can have a chance. I have well, I probably won't have time actually. The second half's about to start. And I know it's a 63-point margin, but it's an intriguing game still. What's this? Round 3, top 10 plays per category. Oh, that's a lot. Holy fuck. We might hold it on that, actually. I think we're just about to get into the second half. So, 23rd. A few people want 2013. Maybe another time. No, I'll write that down as an option. But let's get back to action. We got a game of footy to watch still. Oh, I forgot to check the fan. Do I bother? 3/4 time. I'll have a look. Anyways, what's the multi I put on looking like? Because I forgot what it was. It was Sydney head to head. That's a good start. Heaney 20 disposals. That's a good start. That's a good start. What are the other ones? Ooh. Harley Reid 20 disposals. He needs another 12. Liam Baker needs another 11. Tom McCarthy needs another 7. And Blakey needs another 4. So if West Coast's midfielders just start to get a little bit more of the footy, then I've won $30 and I can use that on maybe a meal at the footy tomorrow or something like that, or a couple beers. Jay Tomo is doing his lion stream. I heard that. How long is it going to take for him to say the word lion? What is it? 10,000 times? I mean, I just feel like that's just going to be such a difficult bloody thing to do. after a certain amount of time, you just start getting real restless. Like, fuck this shit. But Mr. Beast, that's how he started his channel, in a way. That's how he sort of got quite viral, by saying random crap a heap of times. I think he counted to 100,000, listed every word in the English dictionary. A few other, I think he said Logan Paul 100,000 times as well. So, Jay Tomo, I mean, he's following the footsteps of Mr. Beast. Maybe he should go one up. Maybe... Oh, well, I can't really steal his idea, but I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's just going to take forever. Well, I'm glad he is still pushing on with that stuff, because it feels like this current state of the community and YouTube and footy content is sort of lacking a bit of creativity. I can definitely agree with that. Well, likable, definitely more relatable, that's for sure. Although, how relatable can it be? Saying 100,000. There you go. That's his third. That is his third. Heaney will get to his 20 disposals in the next few minutes, my guess is. Rock the Casper. I only just realised that's the goal song, even though we've heard it that many times. Oh, he's getting through it really quickly. He's already at 580. Tell you what, that's actually piss. I thought it was a lot more difficult than I thought that'd take a lot longer. I reckon that's going to get over and done within less than 2 hours is my prediction. Thank you, Breath. Well, I was told that this game isn't actually broadcasted for New South Wales and Western Australia viewers. If that's the case, let me know if you're one of those that haven't got any access to watching this game. Free kick against McInerney, I think. So margin 69 points. McCarthy. Now, he still will get me a disposal. We're looking at Harley Reid for another 12, which is, if there's any chance at West Coast having any say in this game and getting back into it or feeling competitive, he's probably going to be one of those players. And then also McCarthy and Baker. Liam Baker, quiet. He's kicked a goal, but he's been quiet. The Eagles captain. Warner to Mills. And that's a really good kick to find Roberts. Back to Blake. He should go for home. He will go and he will slot the goal. I thought I was going to go to Curnow, but it doesn't. So nonchalant and casual. Wait, is it 64? It's 74 points. Jeez, I'm losing track of the margin. It's 74 points. Upset alert, my art. You said that the sense I have been to... Well, you don't have to obviously say what school you go to, but yeah, that's like awesome. The experience to go to like a Grand Prix and all that, because I know they're expensive and all that. Or is it, did you actually go to one of the race days or like practice sessions? Still cool nonetheless. Huge upset. I know, man. Upset on the card. 74 points. Swans will be quaking in their boots. The greatest ever VFL AFL comeback of all time is going to be broken in the next couple of quarters here. I mean, I wouldn't hate to see that. If Sydney can kick another... If they can do what they did against Carlton, 12 goals, what does that take them to? Like, probably still don't think they'll get to a 200 from that point. But they could still slow down. At this rate, they don't look like slowing down. They're already at the ton. The Swans are already at the ton. Margin's 80 points. They are absolutely... I know it's against West Coast, but they're absolutely sending a message to the rest of the comp to tell them that we are fucking a team that can destroy you if you're not switched on. Go Curnow. Thought you don't like Curnow. Do you still wish you was at Carlton? Actually, I could say a lot more if I wanted to, but I'll keep it mellow. I won't be an asshole. Carlton fans have been going through quite a bit. Well, that's good then. Mate, Kerno is so glad he's out of that rotten shithole that is the Carlton Football Club. 4 goals, and it hasn't even felt like he's done a lot. Like, Heaney's certainly been the best player on the ground, obviously, but even those 4 goals, they feel like they've been cheap ones out the back. But it's just probably because of how much of a lack of pressure the Eagles are putting on the Swans forwards. He hasn't really been working that hard to get those goals. Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Sydney, Freo is your top 4. Is that your top 4 prediction, or is that what the current top 4 is right now? This is actually threatening to blow out big now. Like, it could genuinely be over 120 points. I thought the guarantee of the round was for the Bulldogs to win by the most amount of points, but it very well could be this game. I went to both practice and real race. I got so sunburned. Yeah. Yeah, well, I assume you didn't go last year because the weather for that for the race there was not great. But what Grand Prix did you go to? What year? I assume you went to the Melbourne one, right? As Lloyd obviously kicks that, and they are 17 goals 5. The Swans, they cannot seem to miss. They won't win by 180. They won't win by 180. I feel like the games that people think that there'll be record-breaking margins, and they don't happen. The ones where they don't necessarily predict in the lead-up seem to be the ones that end up being blowouts. Can't remember what people were sort of feeling heading into that Geelong v Melbourne game in 2011. But I think the D's weren't going too bad at the stage, but then things just flipped on its head. Gold Coast v Essendon is... No, I disagree. I think Gold Coast would be more likely to be the side to put the foot off the gas a little bit, like we saw against West Coast, as opposed to the Bulldogs. I can see them being more of a team to just decide, well, fuck it, we'll just go all ham. But that is yeah, that could be definitely over 100 points. I know Sammy's going to that game. He's been talking up the trip, and I'm telling him he's just going to end up feeling like shit at the end of it. He should know that that's going to be a... Oh, it might not be a waste of money, I guess, if he goes and... But it's a day trip only to watch the footy, and you know you're going to lose by a lot. It'll be that game like Sydney was 200 and Eagles were 34. And that was at the SCG. Well, the Eagles were complete witches' hats in that game. At least in this game, they've been bad, but I still feel like this margin is a little bit unfair for them. Like, they're not playing like they should be down by 85. They probably are playing like they should be down by 50. But yeah, I can't believe it's already blown out to 85 points. Some alarming signs for Eagles fans, but I'm sure they're not going to be overly worried. They've seen probably enough signs to suggest that they're going the right way. I just came from the waffle. Yeah, how was that? Next long form video. It will probably be another footy tips video, but there'll be another one after that won't be footy tips. Just got to start getting more stuff lined up, I guess, because the videos I want to film are not easy to organize. I've got to get a lot of people involved. I mean, unless I decide to do a video over the next couple of days at some of the games I go to, I could. How many footy cards do you have this year? Not that many. Not that many. Will you do another? Yeah, it needs to come early. I'll ensure it comes out within the week or two. I'll be quite motivated, particularly if it's an enjoyable one. So release the Gather Round vlog within the week or two. Big fan. Watch your vids for 5 years. That's elite to hear. You would have been around since perhaps before 10,000 subscribers. Ella, as Papley couldn't kick the goal. If they want the 200, they've got to keep The scoring rate up. What have they kicked this quarter? 3? What did they kick in the last quarter? I think they've kicked 7 each quarter. They're 6 goals, 7 goals. They've kicked 4 this quarter. I don't know that much about YouTube, but I feel like the later you release it, the worse it does. Yeah. Well, that's chalk and cheese with my footy tips video I put out on Thursday, the last week. And I did say to myself, I'll never do that, because I know that's what's going to happen if I put it out Thursday. But just ended up having it out on Thursday, and will never happen again. I'm assuring that for a fact. Ella with a 1 gifted membership to Jake Star. Thank you very much. Huge scenes. What is your big call for this game? It's over. Any chance of it happening is definitely done in the bins, because I mean it's not like it's for West Coast to stay within 20 points for the whole game. That's obviously not a chance, but it's for Reed and Dersma to combine for, as Warner misses, 45 and 3. So yeah, they're like 17 and 0 at the moment. That happened last year as well. Yeah, well, there you go. Another one. Can someone give me a membership? Well, you have to hope to be lucky, unless I decide to give some memberships. I can definitely do that. Let's do it now. We'll see if you get yourself a membership there, Aisha. Downfield, Papley. Be the beneficiary. Should be a 5-goal quarter here. Here we got Corey Jones, Josh Collins, Rapsel, Richard. Yeah, you sort of just got to be lucky, don't you? Exactly right. Don't be begging, because beggars can't be choosers, and it's not going to happen. Sportsnut, appreciate it. What members content's coming? Yeah, I've got to work that out as well. There hasn't been a lot of members content out, so those haven't been missing out too much. Oh, shit, he's missed. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be kicking 200 if they're missing him for 20 out. Well, I'm going to do the fantasy and Supercoach stuff on the members every week, but that could have been a possibility for a tipping video, for a members video. Maybe I should sit down and stream at some stage next week and just see what the people in the chat are saying and what they would actually want to see. Get a little bit more feedback from the viewers that are members. Thank God the Saints vs and West Coast didn't lose this week. Huh? And WS. Oh, GWS. Yeah, seems like you have a soft spot for both clubs. Breath has become a member as well. Wow. Well, there's still heaps of like old members content that I've posted in the time, so you can definitely watch those again and the streams, but they haven't, yeah, not as much in the last few months. I stopped doing the members vlogs because I wasn't happy with them. They were kind of repetitive and nothing seemed to really, yeah, nothing really happened in them. I do still have a lot of them filmed. What the fuck was that? He is such a weird bloke, Waterman. Just, what sort of an expression was that after he kicked the goal? Well, let's see. What do we reckon? Will it end up being 100 points? Because there's still very well a chance of keeping it under. You going to any games this round? We'll be going to the next 3 games of footy. Can you do an AFL footy golf? Well, that's something that will take a bit of time to work up, but maybe. Who remembers when these two sides met in 2023? Yeah, well, at one stage, it looked like it could have gotten to that stage in this game, but you wouldn't think there'd be any chance now. Do you think the Lions still win the flag after? Forget about their first 2 games, mate. They're back, the Lions. In the 8 already now, so they're not worrying. Can you do any tips for YouTube Shorts? Hold up. They're doing a review here. They think it might be a point. I wouldn't hate it being a point. It would just increase the chance of a bigger margin being the case. And it is a point. Unlucky for West Coast. Tips for YouTube short creators. Well, I think consistency is always the big thing. Like maybe at the start you don't worry too much about how quality or how perfect things are. It's almost better just post it as opposed to just perfecting everything. Just, you know, you'll get your rhythm going and find a bit of a niche. And especially for the short form stuff, whatever's viral, just pick up on trends. They seem to always work. You're going to watch the D's v Suns game tomorrow. I'll be at that game. Hoping to see Ben King kick another bag of 7 goals. Would be nice. Would also make my big calls complete for the week, but I just want to see him get close to 100 this year. That would be awesome. Wicks goes from outside 50, and he nails another one for the Swans. One of the better goals we've seen today, and the margin is now 93 points, and definitely could still be a chance to be a darts-like margin. 140. What do you think of the Good Friday games? Those were peak. Well, I'm not sure if you can label both games as 10 out of 10 games, but they were certainly amongst the best so far we've seen this year. I was unfortunate to get to watch a lot of the Adelaide v Freo game because it didn't have a great hour and a bit after the Good Friday game. You know, a couple of things popped up. I wasn't even sure if I was going to end up going out that I wanted to, so I watched bits and pieces of the game whilst doing some stuff. Then listened to it on the radio with my mate for a quarter, and then there wasn't really a TV showing the game, so we had to bring it up on KO. We watched 2 minutes of it in the last quarter, which sucked. But at least we watched the finish, so didn't watch nearly as much of that Adelaide Freo game as I would have liked to, but that other one was really good. Watched all of that. Put up a video on Instagram if you guys want to see, and obviously streamed it as well. Pearce was the hero, wasn't he? Elite efforts in the last quarter, but same with George Wardlaw. I have to say against Carlton, he was massive. It's a shame all the loser teams got to play all the loser teams early. Why is that? Just because it gives false hope to all those loser sides, or just because it like sort of screws up with the ladder? I feel like it's fine to have the bad side, loser sides or bottom sides from last year. What do you mean by that? Maybe I've interpreted that a little wrong. I assume you mean bottom 4 sides from last. Well, Essendon can't say they've gotten a win yet. Neither have Richmond. You're probably saying that because of our North Melbourne start. But let's see what happens. That's going to give them belief. At least it'll give them some belief, something to work on. It's probably harder if you start 0-4 to get your season back up and running than it would be if you started 3-1. So you've got the wins in the bank, at least. You'll feel like you're closer to making a run for the top 10. But I think next week against Brisbane, you guys will lose by 50 points. Unfortunately, you probably agree with that, though. Adelaide Freo was cool. Yeah, well, Richmond, Essendon, they're probably the 2 worst. Port Adelaide, they've got nothing out of the game that they played against Richmond to suggest that they're any bit of an improvement of a side. Can you collab with Kados? Yeah, I want to get on the channel soon again. And get him on my channel. I reckon on a stream would be nice. I was going to get another guest on this week. I got Bitter on Thursday, but the person that I want to get on was away this week. A few people are away this week for Easter. Well, if you're not working and you got nothing on, like I don't think you got any excuse to not watch. I get it. It's like you just know what you're going to put yourself through with a game, but it might not be that bad. I think people are definitely fearing it's going to be a lot worse than what it's going to actually be. I really don't think it's actually going to be that bad. It could still definitely be 100 points, but I'm saying like 150 people are thinking, which is what this game could end up being right now. It's currently 94 points. Like this is almost going to be a worrying loss for the Eagles if they lose by 120. 100 probably is still worrying after their start. And Heaney is just that good of a player right now. And McWalter wishes he didn't have the job right now. Why do Carlton keep losing? Because they're just an average footy team. Picking up probably too many B or C grade players over the course of the last 10 to 15 years, the Blues, when you really think about it. Like, everyone was so hot on Hayward, Florin and Ainsworth, but they've been very average so far to start this year. But I tell you, Isaac Henny hasn't been average, and he's kicked another one. 4 goals for him. I've watched a couple of episodes, Andy. Carlton downhill since Voss went to England, wasn't focused. How long do you reckon he lasts for the rest of the season, Hotkey? What's your take on the whole Voss situation? They overpaid for Zach Williams as well. Yeah, wasn't it like over $1 million? Just never could get his body working right. He's currently, again, injured, isn't he? He didn't play this week, but I looked back at the replay of the game and I called Lockie Cow and Zach Williams like twice. In all honesty, to hopefully give me a little bit more lenience, it does look a little bit like him, but still, that was pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, well, you never know. Old West Coast, anything under 100 points is considered a win for them. So if they keep it under 100 points, it's an upset. Crows will drill Carlton. I know, they definitely will drill Carlton. It's a terrible start to gather end. $1.4 million for Zach Williams. At least the title is bringing people in. Well, it's bringing up a bit of a discussion, which is good. It's what we need for the stream. This has been probably one of the better streams discussion wise over the last 4 to 5 weeks. But I reckon it's because I feel a little bit more prepared. I was going to stream Richmond Port before this game, and I'm glad I didn't. And because currently I'm not. My parents are away and it's kind of just me in the house. I had a few things around the house to do, so I'm like, I'd rather do that now than stream what could be a shit game, and it was a shit game. If West Coast kicked 17 quick ones, they'll be in front. South Melbourne kicked 17 goals to St Kilda's 0 in 1919, I want to say. Or it might have been a bit... Actually, I think it would have been 8 in the 18... Oh, not some fucking 100 plus years ago in the VFL. So... it's happened before, I guess. Let's check my little mini bet. Liam Baker, 8 disposals, and Harley Reid, 8 disposals. Good one. Good night to that. Great Easter weekend, says Colm. Oh, ideal for Fremantle fans, particularly. I mean, you get that massive win to set up your season, heading into the game against Collingwood next week, and you've got your other side that no Freo fans are too fond of in the Eagles, losing right now by 100 points. This West Coast defence is about as bad as I've seen in a very long time. Stephen Silvani signed them all on big money and they did nothing. Who else? Is that, yeah, Shearer hasn't. Oh, look at that. Absolutely. Oh, he's missed it. I thought that was through. Sard was good for 1 year. Didn't he win an All-Australian in 2022? But he's just, again, injury prone. Not really as impactful as you would have wanted him to be at the money that he brought him in for. How's it a bit rich for me to bag out the Blues? Everyone's been bagging out the Blues. I may as well jump on the train. TDK is the most overrated ruck. You're only saying that because he got paid 1.7 mil though, aren't you? He's a lot better than Marshall is. I'm adamant on that. He's had a really stinker start to the year. We didn't bring him in your list, manager Stephen Silvati did. Coast Clug must be smashing his head in with a pillow. Well, at least it's a pillow and not a sledgehammer. My guess is he'd be vlogging this game. He might get some views if they're losing by this much. That is one I guess, benefit of losing by a lot. You get a few more views out of it. People wanting to see you suffer. They're the definition of mediocrity. Yeah, well, again, we're not Carlton. We're not Carlton, all right? So I'd much rather be St Kilda supporter than the support of a side like that. Oh, of course you want to talk about premierships. It's got nothing to do with anything. That was before you were probably even born, so you can't even talk about that. Since that last premiership that you won, you've done probably less than any club in the AFL. Sam Flanders is only. You're copying shit on St Kilda players after like 3 or 4 games when we've had much more of a sample size and all your rejects you picked up from other clubs that the Blues have. Flanders, yeah, we probably want to see a little bit more of him, but let's just wait till the end of the season to see how, and then we can properly go back and see if it was worth the whatever we traded for him, because I think it was, yeah, pick 7, wasn't it? Readers fucked my multi. Same. But you know what annoys me, right? I didn't even think he was going to... Well, I mean, okay, I probably did think he was going to have a few disposals, given that was my big call, but like I normally do, I did a last-minute one, and I just had to pick a popular one, and that, yeah, fucked it. Cardi, Eagles score the next goal. You have to gift some... Yeah, sure. I'll gift 5 more subscribers. Actually, someone pick a player for Sydney. I've still got half a burger to eat. I'll probably eat it after the stream. I'll throw my burger at the wall if that player kicks the next goal. So let's go Isaac Heaney. He's been on fire. 4 goals. Let's put a bit of risk into this. How many grand finals have the Blues been in since 2000? Yeah, nothing. Krispy Kreme can sponsor that. So Swans, I think they've kicked 7 goals to 0 this quarter. If they can kick another couple, they might be a slight chance for a score of over 200. All we need is Corey Warner to kick a goal. Why? Is it like a milestone game for him or something? Has he even played 50 games? No, he hasn't even played half of that. I'm trying to warn you, your list is going to collapse like Carlton. Well, I'll see it when it actually happens, mate. I think the title needs a change. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving the title. I know. No, I've set my standards aren't where they were, or my expectations. I've lowered them a little bit. Now I don't think I know we're still a bit off the mark after the last few games we've had. Like, it's still going to take a bit of time. We'll see what happens at the end of the year. Need like 11 from Harley in the last quarter. Well, I still need Baker to get like 8 or 9 as well. He hasn't seen much of it either. Has there been a game where every player on the nah, they surely wouldn't have been, right? Every single player has kicked a goal? Nah. It's almost impossible. Like even in AFL like 23, 20, 26, even that was hard. I tried that in AFL Evolution 2 for a video, and I only just managed to do it after like 7 losses. Yeah, I mean, I put it in the title, but I never suggested that West Coast were going to win the game, even if they had a 6-goal to 2 first quarter, which is probably the only way I would have seen them having a chance. I would have needed to start strongly. The shit part for me is literally everything else has gotten up. Well, that's why you don't rely on the luck of a multi. Warner is just so much quicker than all the... Oh, that's a poor kick. I want to see this get to 200, but I don't think it's going to happen. AFL God, they need another 12 goals, and how often does that happen? I mean, they've done it before this season, but let's be honest. West Coast will not allow that to happen. They'll probably kick a few goals themselves. So currently 107 points is the margin. What was the biggest margin the last season? I think that was when Geelong smashed the Roos. Can't remember exactly how many points that was by.
Sends it towards the 50. Bounce will be important. Davis. Now Lindsay.
This could be the biggest margin since the 170 point game that happened 23.
Take it. Short to Dersma.
Team coach of Footy Star. I haven't got any interest this year in Footy Stars, if I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Graham out in some space.
When they're charging again $5 a pack for those cards, it doesn't justify me collecting $5 a pack. Get stuffed.
Rampy. The flick to the boundary. The clearing kick. Allen, good body work. He's able to win it again.
Yeah, well, that's good point. Good point, Will. And speaking of Willem Dersma, there you go. It won't mean a lot for my big call now because I think there's still a bit of a gap between the amount of disposals that I need from them and the amount of disposals that they have. Let's have a look, shall we? Willem Dersma has 13. Harley Reid has 10. Harley Reid's got 22 fantasy points, which means that he must have given away a few more free kicks. Yeah, Willem Dersma's a gun already. 5 gifted. Oh, yeah. True. Thankfully, he didn't kick a goal. Yeah, let's do it. Might as well gift my memberships if I have had the option to. What are the chances Eagles score the next 5? Well, you got lucky, right? You got very lucky. But you just know the people that want the memberships aren't going to get them. What were your trades for fantasy this week? Well, I actually talked myself through them in the members video. Not the members, the More Cardman video, which I'll do every week from now. But I can talk you through them if you want at the break. Most would have had the Parrish for Bont trade sewn up. I went Parrish for Bont, and I also went Philippou for Braden Cook, which, for my sake, I was just hoping to make a little bit more money from that because Philippou, he's got the bye. Give me any advice if you think that was a shit trade, though. I think he only scored like 56. So the Swans are up by 101 points. No one would have probably seen this coming heading into the game. It might not be 100, though, at full time. We'll see. You've had a terrible fantasy round. Well, that's not good because you're currently in like... Obviously, it wasn't going to be all sunshine and roses all year for you, but you started really well. Top 250th. Do you think we're content? Well, no, not for the flag. We're not contending that at the moment. Unless something happens in the next 18 weeks. It's happened before in seasons where... Like, even with Carlton in a way. You guys... Remember that season in 23? Nothing was clicking until things just clicked and then you guys went on that run. I went track to Murphy Reid and that worked out. Why did you wait so long to get rid of track? I'd almost have kept track. Apparently he's not going to be out for that much longer. I've been hearing he might be back in the team in the next week or two. Probably not for next week, but like it was a fear that it would be maybe an eight week on the sidelines, 8 weeks on the side, but it could only be a couple. There's 12 different goal kickers for Sydney. Oh, shit. That's more than I would have guessed. Because, I mean, Heaney and Kerner both kicked 4, but yeah, you look at the next few. So, Lloyd, Marty, and then it singles to Wicks, Warner, Sarong, Papley, McInerney, Grundy, Cunningham, Blakey. So, yeah, Matt, that's probably why you want Corey Warner to kick a goal. Sarong on my bench has fucked me. I'm so glad I've kept Sarong on my field, mate. That is... I wasn't 100% certain on whether he'd score that much. I don't remember what he's at. Let's go have a look at fantasy, actually, shall we? We can have a little more of a discussion while we show you guys what the team is, and you can give me, for those that are also invested in it, can give me advice. I can use the advice, probably. All right, so I'm not still going amazing, but remember, I've still got my captain score to go. I'm pissed off that I'm not going to get a score for another spot here in the forward line because of... So this forward line's not looking great. But Bruin, I just have to hope with him. Willem Dersma's on the bench. Oh no, I'll probably get his score for Dacos. But yeah, Sarong, 82. Happy with that. Lindsay, haven't really been keeping up with his game, 37. Better last week. Let's talk about how weak St Kilda's midfield is. Your midfielders is nearly as bad as Carlton's. I don't think it's that. I think we're just not able to run out games because it's definitely not what I thought it was going to be heading into the season, because players like Philippou and all, like, really disappointed with his start to the season. And I think McRae's been, even though he's had a slow start, he's definitely been a loss. We'd probably like him back in the team. Probably would have been nice to still have Steele. Who do we have in there? Naz. Naz is the best when he's in there. Next best player. You've got Flanders. Garcia, who's actually really been good this year in the midfield. Showing a bit more aggressiveness and just that defensive ability, getting through the middle. Who else? Winhager plays very rarely, actually, centre bounces. He probably would like to get him more, and to be honest. Philippou, I said before. Hall sometimes has a hit out. Boxall when he plays. But I think our real worry is not our midfield, it's the forward line, to be honest. Because we're at least matching it, if not winning most of the clearances at the middle. I think we did get smashed in the last quarter against Brisbane, though. Naz isn't a midfielder. He's been resting too much forward to be a mid. Well, he had a pretty standout last 8-9 games of the season as midfield last year, so I think definitely his best footy he's played as a middle, in the middle. We're an inform Philippou and McRae away from being a strong... Yeah, we just need one of those players to just really take the next step, which is what I think Ross Lyons said in the press conference on the weekend. Saints or Port midfield, which would you prefer? Well, who do Port have actually coming through? Because I think still probably their strong suit, Port Adelaide, are their midfield. Led by, obviously, Butters and Willem Drews there, Wines. But it becomes quite a lot thinner from those three players to the bottom. Good night. I think I know who's winning from here. Nah, mate, there's still an upset chance. Joseph, cheers for the rookie membership. How old's McRae? The game is past McRae and Cripps. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate because I thought he actually was looking like he was going to have another pretty solid season this year, but all it takes is that one game. Get him back into form. I'm not sure how far he's away from being back into the team. What am I looking at here? Oh, I was looking at fantasy. That's right. Need to figure out what I'm going to do for the week after. Should I quickly check the Supercoach team? I have updated my team for the week, but it's not looking as good, I don't think. Yeah, you can't be stuck having a slow contested midfield anymore, which is definitely why Carlton are lagging behind with the way footy is at the moment. Let me just quickly see what score at least. Just I want to know the score. Oh shit! Oh no, that's not. I don't think that's the right league. That didn't look good when I clicked on it. I don't think I'm at 1,000 yet. Anyways, we'll move on from that. Fourth quarter is starting. You're right. Let's get the game back on terms. So what can the Eagles do to salvage something out of this result? Probably will need to at least win this quarter. So there's something Andrew McQualter can hold his hat on. Do you think King will provide the spark? Well, I am fearful if he does come back that it'll just be like another 4 or 5 games and he does something again. And that's where I really feel, are we even going to get anything out of King anymore? So I'd still probably, I don't think it's worth rushing him. I'd rather wait till he can actually at least give us something. We'll see. I don't know. He probably won't play till the second half of the season, but we'll only can hope. If Sarong gets over 100, I'll put Sinclair in my field and Jacks on my bench so I get Sarong's score.
Key playmakers are not getting it done. Reward the next level of player.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. And then Jacks will end up getting like 120. Hopefully he does. I've got him in my team. But I don't even know. Will the Bulldogs, will Bulldogs defenders even score that much if Essendon aren't going to barely have any inside 50s? I don't think they will. Probably. Game is gone. Yeah, not a fan of the 3 ads. I have a perfect round so far on ESPN tipping. Mate, this round's been shit for me. I tipped fucking Carlton. I tipped bloody Adelaide. I tipped Richmond. Dursby's he's a gun. He's a gun. Jacks or Windsor, who do you think I should put to the bench for Sarong's score? Probably. I think I actually probably back Jackson as a bit more of a consistent player to score than Windsor. Even though he's playing Essendon. But I think he can still score against Essendon regardless. A lot of rebounds. Hopefully the last time we give an injury-prone player a 6+ year contract. Well, I don't think it will be the last time, but yeah. It's not, obviously, it's not King's fault. He wants to get back out there, but it's just maybe a bit too quick on that decision, weren't we? What games are you going to do for Gather Round? What about yourself? Because I'm still looking for a few tickets that I need. So I don't know fully yet. I'd love to get to the Norwood game on Saturday. I've, at the moment, got like 5 tickets. And I'm probably only going to need another 2. I'm still not sure about the Barossa game. And it's like, the people that want to go with me, I've also not got tickets. So even if I get my own tickets, I'm not going to really get to go with the people I want to go with. So next year, let's hope they don't release the tickets when I'm fucking somewhere without any reception. I have 4 out of 5. And you tipped Collingwood. So you've done okay. I almost feel like the Swans were trying to do a little bit too much with the footy there. Like, just, you don't need to. They should have been lining up for goal. Let's see. I still hope to see Sydney put on another big flurry of goals this quarter. Another 7 goals would be nice, at least. Yeah, that's pretty good, Susan, that you got the chance to go to Gather Round living in Adelaide. It's always a lot easier when you live there. Probably the best week of the year for yourself as a footy fan. And Papley, there you go. Think that's his 3rd? I think that's his 3rd. My guess is I'm definitely not going to Gather Round fuck footy at the moment. I reckon there'd be some Blues fans that are backing out of Gather Round, so you could probably still get an Adelaide Carlton ticket very easily. I'm pretty sure it's sold out on the website, but yeah, that Carlton start to the season's probably sucked the fun out of footy for a lot of them supporters. Did you feel worse after the game? Rank the 3 games of the round 1, 2, and 3. Richmond, North, and Melbourne. Of the 3 games, what were the worst that you felt after the game? From worst to not as bad, I guess, because they're probably all still shit. Here we go, another chance for the Swans. Papley has to be a free kick against him, right? How cheap were the flights? Gather Round's good as I'm keen to go again next week. What tickets you get? What games though, Andy? Melbourne, Richmond, North, Sydney. It's crazy how a win is ranked lower than a North loss when you choked a 20-point lead. But even I thought that you weren't as bad in that game. And I think it was almost more just how good North were in a sense. And obviously still the same issues arose. But you definitely weren't as bad in that last quarter. I thought you had chances. And the umpires, I'm sure, had maybe a little bit to do with the result. Maybe. G'day, Luke McMahon. Are you going to Gather Round next week? Don't know if I've asked. Is Mitch McGovern one of the best players in the world? Yes, as Sammy would say, he's very... What did he say in his video? He'd be very useful. Absolutely useful. Not sure how useful he is according to the Blues fans watching at the moment. What are my plans? They're all last minute plans. Wait, you've got a... Wait, are you asking me if I've got a spare ticket, or you're saying that you have a spare ticket? Because I will pay you for that ticket, because I would like to go to that game. And that's, yeah, obviously Barossa games aren't ideal. Oh, you do have a spare ticket. If you're offering, send me a message. Pies, Dockers, North Lions, Hawks, Dogs, Port Saints. Port Saints, I've got. Hawks, Dogs, I've got. Pies, Dockers. But it's shit because I'm probably not going to sit with a whole heap of people. I don't even know where I'm going to be ending up sitting. So I just figure it out as I go, which is probably not what I wanted, but that's okay. Still be a good week. It's been one of our better plays, Mitch McGovern. He's been playing... I feel like he's been playing more forward this year, hasn't he, Mitch McGovern? Might be wrong, though. Did Reid give away another free kick there? Oh, what a goal. From the boundary line. Oh, James Jordan. I think that's his second. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Oh, so they've got now 13 individual goal kickers. So Harley Reid has now got, I think 3 or might even be now 4 free kicks against. I think he averaged the most last year. When was the last time the Saints even won by 100? Yeah, it definitely was that game against the Bombers. I know the Bombers were in a bit of a dump at that time during that drug saga period, but definitely didn't expect to walk out of that game, an away game as well, mind you. Walking around winners by 110 points, I think we won by. And then before that, I think would have been the GWS game. The first time we ever played the Giants. Fun fact, the Guernsey they were wearing, my name was on it. And Papley has kicked it out on the full. Actually, where the fuck is that Guernsey? Because I definitely have it somewhere. I don't think I ever wore it anywhere because it's like a collector's item. I don't want to stain it. You're going to be on the hill for many of the games next week? Yeah, I probably will for Hawthorn Bulldogs, probably. Isn't that's the typical hill game, Saturday night? But I just don't know what people are going to actually end up doing, who people are going with and all that. So it might not be as enjoyable. Won't be as chaotic. Essendon still had all their plays, though. I know they still did, but they were still in the mud that year. I think they only won 7 games. And then the year after, they lose all their plays, but almost ended up being a good thing for them because they bled game to the likes of like Tip and Woody, Parrish. I don't think if it was for that, they probably wouldn't have found out. Oh, he's hit the post because I don't think he would have played if it wasn't for losing all their players in 2016. Tipper. Still 14 minutes. I'm pretty certain that they're going to win this quarter now, the Swans. It hasn't really changed much, although Dersby kicked a nice goal. We lost Jake. Yeah, for that season, though, which is... Wonder if that would have made any difference in us actually recruiting him, perhaps. All right, reduced. I can't... Was he a free agent? I actually don't remember. I think we traded for him. So I don't remember those situations from like 10 years ago. Did we trade for him? It's only a 10-point margin. 35 plays 45. Very low score. Oh, wait. There's a 1 in front of that 45. Heaney might be kicking his 5th. Oh. Actually, wait. Add another one. 146 to 35. No, it was traded. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Actually, I don't think he was eligible to be a free agent at that stage. Oh, someone forgot. Yeah. Goddard was all right for Essendon. I think he ended up being their captain for a few years. Probably was their best player in 2016, just about. Richmond win premiership in 2030. I think they're still going to be a few years away, to be honest. They're still looking quite a lot off the park at the moment. Grundy's got 158 fantasy points. No, Supercoach points. I've got him in my draft team, but the problem is, right, I had Dacos in my team and I've been fucked over because of that. And saying that ahead of football so that Voss is absolutely certain to still be our coach next week. Yeah, just giving him, I guess, a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more assurance of the heading into the next game. I feel like he's definitely gone soon, though, that's for sure. But absolutely certain making the call now, I guess, to avoid any more scrutiny throughout the week. Gawn over Grundy. Yeah, Gawn's still the ruckman, I reckon. Over the best ever, I reckon, that's ever played, but even currently, he's probably still the best ruckman. Has not slowed down with age yet, that's for sure. Baker gets another disposal. Not like it will matter. I don't think he's even close to 18. Do you reckon Voss is gone by the time they play the Saints in round 8? Well, if he's... Let's be honest. We all know they're going to lose to Carlton. Lose to Adelaide next week. And I think they've got a few more difficult fixtures. So if they're going to sack him prematurely, they would have done it after the loss of those against those bottom ranked sides in the way they did. So... Oh, McDonald, mate. He's had a mare of a game. Can't remember if McDonald's even kicked one. No, he hasn't. You think he'd be feeding on a 22-15 scoreline. 170 points for the Swans. Well, if they kick another 4 goals, they'll be reaching that mark, and it looks kind of likely. Hopefully they don't sack Voss round 7 and then they have a new coach for round 8 because they'll probably beat us. But that's what I said. Like they'll lose to Carlton. Carlton lose to Adelaide almost definitely next week. So they're not going to sack him after that game if he's definitely going to coach this week. Like how bad is it going to get? We lose by 70 against one of... Maybe. He's definitely not last in the bye, I can guarantee you that. Or even if you lose against Port Adelaide, it could be the final call there if you don't win till the Port game. Which is it after round 10? It is at the Adelaide Oval, to be fair. You guys don't really fare well at that venue. Sydney... Yeah, Sydney up by 112 points. Just absolutely Just a statement performance this is from the Swans. Completely shut the Eagles' early run up pretty quickly. And they've now started to miss the Swans. It was, I think they were 16 goals 5. So they've kicked 6 goals 11 since then. 6 in 10 minutes. That's semi-doable, to be honest. Whereas Baker is... Well, I've got still 9 cents in my cash out. Baker needs 5. Reed needs... Actually, Baker and Need both need 5. It's not absolutely unthinkable to happen. But I think mine's also cooked. More than you. It's been a pretty boring last quarter. Nothing really happened. Sydney have had a lot of opportunities to extend their margin, but they've missed a few. If they really wanted to, the Swans, I reckon they could have definitely put on a 200 score. Or if those 6 behinds were goals, they'd be like 180, and they could be on a track for 200. Well, please kick 5 more points, Swans. Why? Why do you want him to kick 5 more behinds? It's not like Harley Reid's taking the kickouts. My friend knows someone who is top 10. Reid is he fucking kicking in? Thought they'd want him more around the middle of the ground as opposed to starting the chain. Oh, well, he's actually... Oh, well, that's right, because he's playing full back. Okay, I didn't even pick up on that. Well, there you go. Why the fuck's he putting Reid on the... I guess he's just teaching a bit of a lesson to finish off the game. That's weird. Did you think we have any chance against the Swans in Sydney later in this year? No, I wouldn't regret it. It's always hard to play Sydney in Sydney anyways. But... And take our best. I think there's always a slight chance. But I wouldn't look into it too much at the moment. There's still 10 more rounds, I think, till that game. Lloyd's kicked another. More than McDonald this game. I think he's kicked 3. Harley just getting easy ball. Well, he should get a few more disposals if he's playing defense, right? But even then, like, did absolutely nothing. It's kind of given up. Yeah, so Jake Lloyd playing the forward line. Is that a move they made earlier in the year? Or just for this game? I don't know. Must be playing this position for the whole season. Which is working today, I guess. He's kicked 3. Mate, you're probably going to be winning like $15 anyways, Will. It's not hugely concerning, I wouldn't have thought. And you'd know the luck that you'd have as well. He'd probably just not take the play on. He'll just kick it from the... He'll kick it from the goal square and not count as a disposal. How do you feel about the Bombers being second last? Well, that'll change tomorrow, I would have thought. It's only because they've just played the Richmond Port game, and Richmond look just about as bad as any team this year, apart from probably Essendon still. I'd be surprised if their percentage doesn't drop to below Richmond's. Almost, Papley. There you go. There's a point, Will. And they don't give Harley Reid the disposal. I didn't think they were going to give him the kickouts, to be honest. Oh, they benched him. Then they probably benched him for that shocking effort on James Jordan there. Just showed him no respect. Might be benched for the rest of the game. So you're done. So am I. I didn't... But Chat, did you guys think West Coast still had these results left in them? I thought that this was past them because last year they didn't lose a game by 100. I don't think they did the year before either. I really thought these results were past them. I get the feeling the Bulldogs Essendon will be a boring. Nah, I actually cannot see that happening. I think the last 10 games that the Bulldogs have won have been like an average winning margin of 60 points. 6 minutes to go. Surely the Swans can pile on a bit more hurt for the Eagles. A couple more goals. No, they haven't lost a game by 100 since 20. Yeah, you'd think that that would be a lie if someone said that to you with how bad they've been. They lost every game by 1 last year, but they didn't lose many by like a massive amount. I don't think they were as bad as that one win side would suggest. There have certainly been a lot worse sides that have won more games. Crazy how the Eagles were leading the inside 50 count at quarter time. I want to know what the stats are now. West Coast have had only 267 disposals. That's pretty bad. It actually hasn't been a high disposal sort of game. Probably a lot of... What were the marks inside 50? Taking a bit of time off the clock. What are the inside 50 count? 58-42. 58 inside 50s for 40 scoring shots. West Coast is fucked. Well, they've definitely been brought back down to reality. Who do they have next week? Geelong. We just wanted to see a lot more of a fight from the Eagles today. It just showed absolutely nothing, really. 4 goals to 23, and look at this. It's just way too easy. Way too easy. If Sydney play like this every week against the poor sides, well, they're going to win a few more games by 100, I reckon, because West Coast, as bad as they are today, they're not the worst side I've seen this year in terms of... Like, I think Essendon against Port were worse. Genuinely. They've just been absolutely clinical today, the Swans, and probably could have even still won by more. I'd say the West Coast side in 2023 won 3. Yeah, they won 3 games that year, but they lost like 4 or 5 games by 100. West Coast has by far the lowest disposal average as a team. Well, I don't know what their average is, but if it's anything like the 271 they're on right now, then that's definitely 18th in the comp. Really no noise in the stadium at the moment. There's not been a lot to cheer about for the Eagles fans. And I reckon the crowd would have been pretty solid. I reckon 50k probably in attendance here, and at the moment it looks like half of that. This would be if... how many points did Bulldogs beat North by in 21? Even with the slipping over, they're still getting easy uncontested possessions of Swans. It's just so... Oh, that was a shocking kick. Wasting an opportunity for another goal. They won by 128. If they win by more here, which I need 1 more goal, Sydney, then this is the highest margin I've ever watched on a live stream. It's set a new record, I think. Because to be honest with you, in the last 5 years, there have been very few occasions where sides have lost by more. The only ones I can think of are the West Coast losses against Adelaide and Sydney, but I didn't stream those games. Come on, Curnow. Oh, that's just way too easy on Gimby. A mismatch there. Well, I'm not wrong. As Will said before, upset alert. West Coast fans, I'm sure, be quite upset with the performance today. I mean, it'll bring him into a little bit of form. 5 goals against a very, very shit opponent. Doesn't really give you a massive indication of how things will go on against the better sides, but it's something, I guess. And he's missed it anyway, so he's kicked Still the 4.
Put Isaac Heaney on ice by the look of it. He's been
How's that considered an upset, Jake?
26 disposals, 12 score involvements, and
There's Harley Reid back on the ground. Another kick out.
absolute class. Just stamping a performance to say I'm back and ready.
Handball out. More loss. More like.
Several loss at home, 135 points to the Cats. And Subiaco in
Oh, shit. This could be the highest ever loss
7 right
in West Coast history at home.
Not sure what Brody Grundy has to do to get to the bench and have a break.
They need 2 more goals, Sydney,
Watching his work
which is doable.
tonight, he just charges like a 6 foot one.
They've played Grundy back into form today as well after
9 clearances.
not
Go along with that, 18
of as dominant of a start to the season. 1-7 with the biggest ever loss in the last. Yeah, I know that. But apart from that game and that Adelaide game, well, this could be the second biggest loss in the last 10 years.
2 minutes remaining. Just have not taken the foot off the pedal the whole night. The Sydney
This is
Swans
just
back in so many
playing with your food right now. The Swans are just kicking it. Having so many of these free kicks. And hopefully Sarong's got 100 fantasy after these last bits of plays. Sarong's on 96. 99. 99. 100. Oh, no, he's still on 99.
back inside the defensive 50. They still get a mark in there.
It's absolutely damning, really.
Drifting into the space.
But again, it's been the theory.
Just goes to show how far away the Eagles are from the rest of the comp. No, Sarong's got 105 now. Sucked in. Well, West Coast last year was the worst side of any team in terms of wins.
Have to come out and defend us. And then you get a high
Equal worst, yeah.
inside forward 50. That's
Fitzroy, they won 1 game. I think the Giants in their second year won the 1 game.
A second goal to his evening.
Oh, he's missed it, McInerney. They needed 1 more point. 1 more point to outscore. Oh, I've given them a goal.
Same at 128 points as a
I wish it was a goal.
figure, but they kicked a bit straighter.
The biggest ever win on the road was in 1995. They won by 126 points against Fitzroy. Tony Roger kicked 16.
You forget how bad of a margin this is actually blown out to. There are so many records that have actually been broken tonight. Oh, what have I fucked the scores here?
Didn't get the 3 Brownlow votes.
For last season, but in terms of overall equal worse.
Graham. It's time to throw.
Well, I can't remember whose percentage was worse. Fitzroy's or GWS's. I think Fitzroy's.
Time for one more. Tackle from Lindsay.
Oh, that's going to be it.
With the Harlem Globetrotters effort, but last disposal
That'll be it. So they'll win by 128 points.
going the way of the West Coast Eagles.
Wonder what the odds were for that to happen. Again, I thought this is out of West Coast game.
Goes long down the line, up to half.
Big reality check right now. Can they kick another one here, the Eagles? Hopefully not.
And the Sydney Swans with the football, and that has
About as dominant of a performance you're going to see this year from the Swans. And West Coast, well, they look flat from the get-go, and they lose by 128 points. Almost the biggest loss they've ever had at home. I think it was 134 or 5 against the Cats. So, fuck me. Could have been more as well. What was it? 24 goals, 19? That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So, Sydney have won by 171 in 2023 and 128 in 2026. It might not be the biggest margin we see this round, though. We still got another game tomorrow night, which could outperform that. I remember that one against Geelong, and Mark Thompson started eating was that in 2010 or 11? Actually, it probably was 2010 because they were better in 2011. Or was it 2008? It was definitely in that era. Particularly if... Actually, no. Well, it couldn't have been in 11 because Mark Thompson didn't couch them that year. You were eating burritos on Friday. I know. I don't know why that's been mentioned, but you're right. I had Grill on the field and Sarong benched. Well, Yeah, look, you're probably not going to expect many more 100 scores from Sarong, but he had it on a platter today, so I'm taking the 100, and I'm going to run. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people have said that they bench Sarong, and that's helped my rank a little bit. That has helped my rank just a touch. Lindsay with a 55 might not end up taking that score with a best 18. Oh wait, I reckon the score line was 50 to 183. That's my guess. Let's have a look. Actually, let's see if that was actually the case. Let's go and well, let's actually see what the biggest loss. The biggest losses have been in West Coast history. Where would that rank? Where would that rank amongst the worst? I reckon that's the third highest loss. Biggest losses, 171. No, they lost that game. Oh, I was close to the margin. Sorry, with the score line, 47-182. That is the fifth largest loss, and two of them against Sydney. You should be able to see that. West Coast lost to Sydney in 1987 in their first year by 130. And now they've got Geelong, and they'll be just shattering their confidence a game like this, losing by 128. This game makes me so flat, I don't want to go to gather round. I don't think this makes any difference to anything, to be honest. Because West Coast are playing Geelong, that game was never really going to be that exciting. Is it just because there was no contest? To me, this doesn't affect my urge to go to gather any more or less. He was just super tonight. Who was super? Who would be the votes for tonight's game? I'd probably give Heaney the 3, Warner maybe the 2, and Grundy the 2, Warner the 1. Warner 2 and 24. Papley 2 goals and 24 as well. Maybe I'll just give it to Tim Kelly. He started good in the first quarter. AFL Tables is the website. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I'm on it quite often, actually, just checking stats and past records and all that. You can spend a bit of time on the website, to be honest. Well, no, I don't think anyone saw this score line. Jeez, imagine it was half time. I can imagine this is a half time score. Yeah, no, I think no one in their wildest dreams would have seen the Eagles lose by this much after their first 2 weeks. If it was a different situation after round 3 for them, maybe, but even then, didn't think they had this in their game anymore. But I guess they still have a lot to work on. They're still nowhere near where they want to be, and we know that. But even after that performance, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I have a look at the ladder, why does this not give me the live ladder anymore? What a joke of a website the AFL website can be. AFL live ladder. Don't even think the Eagles would have dropped many spots at all. Yeah, literally now have dropped to 12th. They're ahead of the Saints and ahead of the Crows. That is going to start. That's just going to consistently drop throughout the year. They'll be in free fall. If I had to pick up before I wrap the stream, if I had to pick my bottom 4 now, I kind of want to say the Tigers finish last, and then Essendon 17th, and then West Coast 16th, Carlton 15th, North 14th, GWS 13th. Oh wait, no, I forgot about Port. Port 14th, North 13th, Giants 12th, and then I don't know, Saints hopefully top 10. Melbourne will be good-ish. All right, well, that'll wrap the stream up. Thank you for watching. Pretty enjoyable game in a sense, even though it was 128-point margin. It's always intriguing to see big smashings, and we did get a big smashing. Although I was not really expecting a big smashing. I literally put upset alert in the title, which is stupid. Well, I'm sorry, Max, but I have to go. You can, if you want to join the Lion stream, if that's still even going on. Is it? Let's have a look. Might be over. No, he's still going. Let's give him a raid. Make him feel a little bit better about the situation he's currently in. He's almost done, though. Well, I'm going to have to end, mate. Jump on the Jesse stream. He's doing a Lion freaking punishment stream for the Collingwood v Brisbane game, which, I mean, he knew that was going to happen, right? I don't think maybe we give Collingwood much of a chance. But, yeah. Cheers for watching, and we will see you soon. More streams and content to come.